Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, but we're also going to be checking out what's going on with the World Global Finale. Let's take this off. Let's see.
Max, but you can see the number advantage as they try to stack the staircase. Tappa gonna jump out onto this area, and Tappa just waiting for the push. Sometimes you can try to listen it out. You hear the feet climbing up the stairs, but look at them overlooking the balcony, but just trying to nestle in. Jowo looking to make the push, but unfortunately, when you get high ground, you can bait it out. You can bait out the windows, but not anything going to connect. Lethal's going after the same thing. He's gonna jump down. Limax, he caught him from behind, but no shots are connecting, and this is a mouse shake. The first goes down, and Fredman's in trouble, but Tappa will go down in that trade, and now Jowo is in the gulag. But here's the deal, guys. If you want to check out maybe the map view, you want to see positioning of where all your favorite creators are at home, because we have 150 players with 150 different POVs, but Call of Duty Echo channel on Twitch has the map feed, so be able to go check that out.
It's a great shout, because you're going to be able to see off to the right-hand side, even if they're not on main stage. Now they are. Juki's fighting Kong. Juki's on main stage. Team Infernal, a team that I talked to before the broadcast, and they said their crowning achievement in Warzone history was qualifying for this LAN, and a lot of teams said the same. They're so happy to be here, so happy to be competing, and I think some of these teams are going to surprise not only the other competitors, but probably also us.
Look, I'm just happy to be here, Goj. Honestly, we've been here since the very beginning. Think back to Verdansk when all of our players started competing. Hisoka back then in the Rising Stars of Warzone here, taking that map 1 win. And all I could think about when that was happening was, where is Hisoka's dad? You know, dude's probably in the stadium going absolutely crazy, and Wars, King, AG, and Co. He's kind of positioned up against Lovey, but this is a little bit of a standoff. Wars does have the building available to them, and with Lovey and Co. on that head peak, sometimes it's best to just disengage, prioritize getting to the next circle. With that being said, it's closing in 2 seconds, and only one squad has left.
Yeah, I like this play from Wars. Of course, they lost Prodigy, which means they're down in player numbers, so you're fighting a team maybe you think you can win against. If everything was equal, you win 9 times out of 10, but when you're down a player, it's a 2v3, not a very smart fight to take, especially when that team is already set up in the building. So they're going to relocate, reassess the situation, likely either take this fight from a different angle once their teammate comes back, or they're able to buy them back, because it looks like Prodigy lost that gulag, or just completely rotate out and let them go.
Look, I'm really loving this while we're looking through where Juki is, but I start thinking about that rotation with the circle coming in and the gas at their back. So as we take a look at that, we think of the areas that we saw the highest congestion area. In Satik Cave, that was where people started to get a little mixy, and Team Huskers currently situated in a solid positioning just on the north side of Said. You can do a lot of gatekeeping there, and it seems that they've gotten some of their numbers back up, so that regain is happening, coming back from the gulag and showing out strong. But Juki sitting on 1, they're gonna hop in a vehicle and hit their rotation as well. But when you start to think about that eastern side of the map that they're going to be going through, Al Shireen Pass will be their next POI, and that's pure high ground. And Adrian, well, he's got it too.
Uh-oh, Savvy Ultra's team in trouble. Blade will fall. The others able to get out, though. See Team 2 just barely sneaking out. Team 21, that's going to be for our expansion team, trying to creep up and maybe grab this third party. Aiden and Rated are going to have to play Billy Goat here and climb the mountain a little bit. Just narrowly passing each other. There it is. Method, Sick. Apologize. Method, Sick, Cams, and Daga here from EU region, creeping up the bottom side of the mountain, but enough cover where they're not going to interact. And Huskers yet again in trouble. TBE is still hunting down this team. Even after a restabilization coming out of the gulag, Tommy is not going to let his prey get away. Huskers in the water trying to do everything he can. Tommy does go down, but not dead yet. Noob should clean this up, no problem. Huskers gets taken out again. 3 teams have been eliminated, and folks at home, we're gonna check in with the first team that was fully eliminated. Let's see what Frankie's got to say on the stage.
Thank you. I'm with Team Rocket, who've come all the way from Poland. I know the Polish fans are cheering them on in the audience right now, and in the Team Rocket booth, I've got Zakar with me. Zaka, you got really unlucky in the Gulag. Tell me what happened.
Well, I just missed one bullet to Jesus, I think it was, and yeah, I was just unlucky because I should have killed him to be fair. I don't know why, but yeah, it is.
Well, it's only the second drop out of 6. How are you finding things on land so far?
I'm loving land so far, honestly. Like, the land is actually treating me great, but first game was pretty much, it was unlucky for me because my PC just turned off, so I had to get that fixed. I'm still fixing my settings and stuff, so I hope I will get them sorted by now, like by the next game. And yeah, I hope everything be fine.
All right, well, Jinkoye, thank you so much for talking to me. Polska Gorum, let's head back to the map.
Polska Gorum, thank you so much, Frankie, for checking in with them. They were sitting in 9th place after map number 1. We now going out first, and you heard him. It's unlucky. 1 bullet. That time to kill inside the Gulag is unforgiving. So many of our teams, once they go in there, start pre-firing every angle they can get. And with the private lobbies, you never know who you're going to go up against. He said Jay, and now DJ Moss, Z-Smith, they are fighting it down on the edge here at Observatory. Now, Ebates and DJ, they're not actually competing for any kind of organization here. They're actually doing it for DJ Moss's brother Maddie, who could not be here today, and they are laying it on the line, and I'm so excited to see how they perform. But so far, you've got to get out Observatory. You have Team Zeppa just ahead of them, and that's going to make things a little difficult.
Yeah, Observatory, after being demolished in their last couple updates, of course, not necessarily the favorite drop spot for a lot of these teams, a lot of nooks and crannies that people can hide into, but definitely one you want to rotate through because of the high ground. Let's take a look at another couple teams interacting here early. I see Tony White on here on main stage, an EU team as well. He touts himself as the oldest competitor here at 32 years old, so shout out to Tony, still competing at 32, doing it with a full-time job and everything in between. Man's excited to be here, and I'm sure this team is excited to potentially have a solid map. Now, I'm taking a look at that top right-hand corner of our screen here, and I see Team Intex with Believe really creeping up the leaderboard. They weren't even inside. I think they were 4th place going into this map, so they've crept all the way up into 2nd place. They've got a nice, solid map going, especially in the early game, already finding what looks like 7-8 eliminations. They could really bide their time and hold out their own into the end game and just set up going in to the final couple circles. We'll see if they're able to do just that. Inksion finding a couple off screen as Aiden and Rated, well, rather Rated and Adrian moving their way in, getting picked up by Signal 50. See you later. That's Ahsoka waiting, watching, and finding it. Adrian in trouble, Rated in the Gulag.
That's gonna be really tough. Adrian with no flares does have a precision airstrike available to him, but just trying to get into some cover. You start looking at the money situation. Will Rated come back from the Gulag? Doesn't necessarily have enough to buy someone back, and once you start getting into Hydroelectric, there's only like 2 or 3 buy stations right now on the map. We have a mobile as well, but you know those will be watched like a hawk. So Smixy, let's check in with her. Typically lands over in Rohan Oil. You said it best. They're climbing up the leaderboard, and Smixy is gobbling down, looking to get a knock onto Castillo, but attract the numbers advantage. You stack every engagement, and then you reward yourself with that durable gas mask, picking it up.
Yeah, a nice win. They're going to continue to play hand in pocket, just work together all the way through each of these buildings, clear the high ground, set up for the next rotation, and hopefully pick up a couple in the process. I believe this team, I was talking to them before, and they said they were going to run 2 signals this time around, flanked running 1 and a tracked running 1, and who knows, maybe they're running 3. So every single time I asked the team, they were like, we're running 1 signal. Then I asked them again, they were like, we're running 2 signals, and now I think they're running 3, so who knows. But the team, I think, in 6th place going into this, Jowo squad got 2nd overall in the map. Needed a couple more kills to creep up the leaderboard. They're in trouble as well and rotating. Let's take a look at that map. They've actually got a nice, pretty clear rotation around this water. If they're able to cross over, you can see Team 11 is Joe Woe's squad. And as we see the circle, pretty centrally located still. Everybody's kind of staring at Hydroelectric as potentially the end game.
Yeah, that's going to be a really tough one to get into. You have the cluster of teams that are going to be exiting out of the further southwestern side of Al Mazrah City. You can see Team Jukies have kind of stapled along the side of Marshlands and carried that forward, making their way to Hydroelectric, but they will still have to cross through the open and through Team Stuwo, so that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, we got DBZ after winning their early encounters, or rather, maybe in trouble in their early encounters. They were able to answer back against Azen after map 1, and now they've got some high ground here on the outside of Hydro. Look, you've got DJ Moss Z-Smith on the building next to you. You're not too worried about them. You don't think they're going to leave their their location. So instead, let's find some easy eliminations if we can, as other teams are rotating in. There's several squads in this area. You've got to hold your position. Elo in trouble, but answers easily against Echo. They're going to be able to push this fight with ease. 3-on-1, 3-on-2. They've lost one in the process at least. Down. I thought it was going to be an easy fight, but Tomsterbaum goes big and then might be able to snake his way out of there.
Look, if anyone's going to go big, it's going to be Tomsterbaum, and you have to play your life. Once you get out of that player advantage, you can see the dolphin diving happening behind the tree, just trying to separate themselves a little further out. But with so many teams, 43 in particular left in this lobby, only 7 have exited. This is not where you want to start your map number 2, and especially as you see some distance there for FIFA Kill. Abwiz there going down on that kill feed, but Sirius Mariko, they're setting themselves up into that upper high ground engagement against Super Evan and Z Colors. Now, let me just tell you, I saw them getting their photos done yesterday, and they were here with pure confidence. They knew that this was a job to be done, and they were like, we had so much fun throughout the stages, we're gonna bring it today.
I love it. Well, hey, confidence is key. We'll continue to say it today, but Sirius on your screen is going to have to try to push into this next circle, and you're going to be met by, I believe, that's Nico Infinite on the other side. We can talk about the coach all day today. Crowder, an incredible competitor, coach, and everything in between, has a chance that no one else has to potentially be a Warzone champion on top of winning champs as a player and a coach. An incredible player that came through in the wild card of the LCQ. Ridiculous performance through the water. And you're always going to find them near the in circles. The question in my mind always is, do they have enough eliminations to make it not only into the money, but make it into the top 10 today?
That's true. It's a good shot on the money right now. Top 25 here on the day of our 50 teams will land themselves with a portion of the prizing, and it's going to be all the eliminations that you need. You see Team Biffle creeping up the score, trying to close that distance onto Hisoka, but Team Luki on your screen, Horrid, going to fall, go to the Gulag, and some Semtex going out to kind of anchor down on that staircase. But the question of the day is all of these flares, it's flare warfare here. I just saw 2 on the ground. Trev's able to pick up another one, so anytime they run into issues, you just gotta do a little dolphin dive 360 out of a window and hit the Hail Mary flare.
That's exactly right. That flare, of course, an easy way to get your teammate back. It will pick a random teammate, but a teammate nonetheless. And at this stage, at this level of Warzone competition, you trust every single one of your teammates regardless of the situation. Team 36 having to rotate in. That's Teeny and Levi had a chance to sit down with that squad. That's our Australian expansions team. And, well, they really were relying on Zeppa to kind of lead the charge from an IDL standpoint and having LAN experience. Hey, speaking of Crowder,
let's do this. Let's see how they're doing.
Banging. I gotta play.
Guy just jumped to your building?
I gotta play.
Top of the other building? Fighting?
They could be in. They could be in. I'm looking for an opener for you, Steve. Got naded.
I just got a pizza.
We're gonna have to smoke and push forward.
One of you, I'm sitting back with this pizza and this gold gas. I just got a pizza. Yeah.
We're gonna have to smoke and push forward.
One of you, I'm sitting back with this pizza and this gold gas.
Smoke and push forward.
Yeah, go.
Not play stuff. Go into the tunnel. They're rotating. I heard you. Go in here. Where you want to come out at? To the right. We could go into this building in the front. Come to me. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a team there. I have no more plays. I can drop you one down here. Look for this fight. Yep. Behind me. What? No audio again. But it did. Got a flare, Z.
He's got a flare. He's got to get it off. And he
I hit it.
Oh, he did.
You're back in.
Out.
Gotta chill. I don't want to play some chill, bro. I don't either.
Let's just rat right here, CB, on this loadie. I'm ratting in the water.
I got a durable.
I do too.
So we'll just play it late. I'm floating right now. See anything over us? Yeah, I will play this area if I need to and just try to get on edge. Same chill. He's trying to snipe me.
He has no plates.
He's gonna land on this loadie, maybe.
Clutch and Laner have
I'm
no
playing this area for a second, okay?
Same.
Here. I'm popping up a little bit.
I hear you.
Oh, fucking.
And destroys down. Misses shots, missing all his shots.
Knocked one, CB right in front of you. Dead.
Finish.
Hold him.
I don't know if you guys can get to the water here. I don't think I can right now.
I'm about to try 2D, okay?
Yeah.
CB, I'm with you.
Right here. I don't have plates.
I killed a guy right here. He's got plates right here. I'm grabbing him. Grab those. Give me some if you got
I only have 3.
Okay.
If they go, guys. I gotta jump up. I'm gonna jump up.
Okay. I'll do this one.
Jumping in the water.
They've
I
been
have a
spotted.
fucking water pistol.
Flex is
I just
down.
have a fucking pistol, bro.
He's dead. Z's on the
These
verge.
rotos are so.
You're good. You're good.
Got this, Z. You have 3 plates, okay?
I hear you.
One's in the garage in front of you.
No.
And he's out.
Bro, these zones are pulling so
These zones are
deep.
just
What up,
pulling for
monkey?
us, bro. There's nothing we can do about that. Like,
That
we're
fucking match pull.
playing with what we
What
can,
up,
bro. We're playing with what
monkey?
we
How
There's
are
so
can.
you,
many
man?
people alive, we can't just send center zone, you know? Yeah. We're just not getting blessed with any sort of pulls at all.
We're just
And
chilling,
to
man.
put that on top, we have no plates.
Well, and this is going to be a tough rotation, and Swag has the chance to have the high ground here, but they've got to win the gunfight. He can't find his opponent. There's too much smokes. He throws the flare up. They at least have a floater somehow still alive.
Dude, it's so chaotic, man.
So much
it's all about
smoke
flares.
and so little time to get to the next zone. In trouble with the floater.
Swags and
Hopefully
gas.
can farm a bit of those
Ooh, Swags
multipliers. The
are
question is,
bad.
how many kills do they have?
They're in bad
Just
shape.
on the outside in the gas, you saw the flare go up, so Super Evan will come back in. Boog's able to get the full onto Swag, but it's TBE with the
I'm
high
gonna
ground
project
in the
Six
tower,
gets
and
it.
you can see Boog's just checking up into the sky. Hey, what is going on? I have a signal 50, and Panda goes down. This is where it starts to be really tough towards that end game. You don't have resources, you run low on plates, and that signal 50 is a heavy hitter. It just takes one sometimes to knock them down, but Mayapo, he's stuck at Skullface, going for that ever-coveted high ground, utilizing
man,
smokes,
good.
and
Had a
this
late night
could
last night.
be the engagement that they need. They're gonna clear out this
Come
building,
back
one of the
sooner.
last ones in the
Too much
zone,
fun.
but Skullface, I mean, a little bit of a bathroom camper. Sometimes you gotta do it.
I saw a lot of Team 40 there in the kill feed. Shifty alive as well. Some of the top
GF
teams from the first
for?
map still up, but some new faces here as well. Sway, Planticity alive without their third, but alive nonetheless. Inside, about to be the top 15. You're about to see a new multiplier, and Shifty on 6. Here they are. They've lost Sage, but Shifty and Biffle alive, continuing to slay out. This team is frightened. Well, rather, the other teams are frightened of them. Gonna hide out on the edge of zone with the smoke. Should be able to pick up a few more eliminations. Might have actually been able to get a buy off as well. Squad 12 goes down. That's Zungod. Tiff, we're down to the final 13 teams, and everyone biding their times. Again, just a moment of peace before the chaos that entered the last final circle.
Team Jowo went out, Team Almond went out, but Tomsterbaum from Team Echo, the longtime duo of Echo, still poised alone in that building. If
How's
they had
that one?
any eliminations throughout this game, getting
What
that
up,
coveted
Midge?
multiplier. Now, mind you, in 10th place, you're sitting with a 1.6x. You hit 5th, you go to 1.8, which is almost as good as that coveted 2x. But Hisoka, your map 1 winners, they're pushing the issue. They're getting a little bit
If you
closer.
wanna learn to get
just
better
taking all
at
of the
Call of
stun
Duty,
grenades to the
it's
face, but as a
spectating events
duo,
like this.
Hisoka and Skullface, we chop out that Hail
These
Mary
guys
flare, and then
are
we go in
so
for more.
freaking good.
Unreal, Hisoka chowing everything. Gets the flare off and
gets in too.
Hisoka goes big.
And
Will
he goes
fall
out.
in the process with a third party, but finds the team wipe. Sway answers back, but Hisoka's gonna feel good about that one, especially with flares in the sky, especially with some floaters. Who knows what they'll be able to do?
Always click the wrong button.
Especially if they make it into the top 5, Tiff. This could be another monster
I think
game.
my guys
All
already went
three
down.
up. Let's go to Team Biffle. They've got player advantage. They've got high ground,
Biffle.
and they are farming the skies.
Look at that.
They were already
Just
so
shooting
close to
ducks
Soka
out of the
on
sky,
leaderboard,
man.
so Biffle taking
That's what I'll be doing later
prioritization.
this
'Cause
year.
Z-Colors, he's not paying attention. He's gonna fall to Biffle. You know that Repulse Check is in the building, and Biffle looking to put on a show for them. And
Hey,
as
Monkey,
they
stop
clear
by
out
anytime, buddy. I
Sage,
appreciate
just
you, man.
capitalizing. Number stack, Biffle will fall,
free.
but Sage is going
Interesting.
for the trade. Now they just have to turn their tide
And just
towards
think,
it,
dude,
but Shifty
people
hits a
are making
flare.
thousands and
This is
thousands of
about as
dollars
free
by
as
playing
it
that
gets.
game.
Stuka trying to
It's
go big with the
amazing.
starter pistol. Castillo, our Mexico squad goes down. No, yes, Biffle answers back. Shifty, Biffle, Sage are your map 2 winners.
We knew that was going to be it. The moment Soka took that win, you
I
can
would come
see
back in the night
everyone
for me.
cheering
Really?
for
Would you?
Biffle, and that is what they needed to wanted to.
Would you,
They
monkey?
saw the 16-plus point differential between them just after map number 1. They knew they had to come back swinging, and they do that tenfold. Looking at Biffle with the signal 50, just
Dude, just imagine that, you know, sitting in that center stage, all these people watching you.
Unbelievable
No
job
pressure,
from
right?
the
I
trio.
wouldn't
They
fold.
battled so much adversity as a team. They had so many expectations
I would
and
fold
had to
so
work through
bad.
the team chemistry issues that come with creating this new trio of Slayers. But they found it in map 2, potentially the biggest map of the day. The math will check
Nice
out
chairs.
for us, but a massive victory. Biffle with double digits already in map 2. They were in second place, Tiff, and likely going to be in first after that one.
You know, you think about the roster changes that we've kind of hinted throughout the stages of World Series of Warzone. Shifty was
What is
actually on that
ANZ?
initial
ANZ.
roster, but let's take a look at that HyperX victory
I don't know what
moment
ANZ
and
is.
Biffle
You have
just
Team North
shooting
America,
out of the
Team
sky.
Europe. Then you have ANZ.
Oh, Z Colors going down. He's on double digits here, but he doesn't quit there, Ghosh.
I love what they did here because they knew they had player advantage and they were willing to split up to farm this lobby, Tiff. I mean, everybody at home's cheering for them. Of course, there's a lot of fans back in North America, but I saw a ton of fans here as well for them. Shifty gets the buy just in case. Now, we gotta give a shout out to our Mexico squad, Castillo and Z-Dark. They actually won the Mexico region and they went big here for top 3 as well. Biffle flies in after getting bought back. StukeX falls, and there is that victory. Congratulations to that team. I know they're excited. You can see it on their faces. But not only are they excited, Tiff, they're excited to be at the top of the leaderboard. There is $100,000 going to the team that wins first today.
Ooh, and not only the money, but the pride, the first ever to do it at the largest
man.
Warzone LAN that has ever been seen. We talked about the 150 players behind us. 300
insane.
computers are in this building, Ghosh, so it's starting to get a little hot. But if you at home want to
Jeez,
watch
could
this,
you
go find your
imagine?
news creator. Maybe you want to check out Biffle's stream, Shifty's
And
stream,
you know,
Sage's
this
stream.
is
They're streaming live
this
right now,
brings
so you
a
can check
very
out their
good
POV
point
as
that
well.
I've been always
A
trying
lot
to
of
make.
watch parties going on, and I
And
know
I've been trying to make it a point to my family because they just don't understand. I tell them, I was like, stop telling, you know, your kids to don't play video games because there's no future in it.
I think we're gonna get an interview with that squad, which I'm really excited to hear about.
What?
And let's go check in right there with Frankie on the
$100,000 in a
stage.
tournament.
Thank you very much.
And this is
Tiff
one
and
tournament.
Goj, and
One tournament.
These boys
Now,
are
I grant
so
you,
hyped about their victory,
I mean,
as
it's
well
the
they
competition
should be.
is so
Shifty, what were you
crazy.
just saying there? You were talking about the squad clicking.
But then you have options like
basically the gears are
video
clicking.
game
We've seen it
creation,
before when all three of us play
storyline.
great. We have
So
big
really, video games
wins.
incorporate
And,
just
I told
about
them going to that
everything.
second game, let's win. We need it.
And so
We
when
want
people
this.
like,
We want every team to
especially
know
me,
that
like
we're
blue
coming here to be
collar coming
dominant,
from the
and that
country,
everyone should watch out for us.
everybody's
And it
like,
was a
oh,
hydro end game,
he's
so,
stuck
I
in
mean,
that
we
room
couldn't
playing
ask
video
for anything
games.
better.
Let the
And,
dude play.
You guys played out of their mind end game.
I feel
Talk to
like
me
Will
about
Ferrell
the
when he
tactics
says,
in the in-game. You're
"Let
going in
the
and out of the gas.
boy
You're playing a
watch."
risky game, but you knew you had it in the bag. What were the comms
I mean, look
like?
how
What were
old
you
this
saying
kid
to the
is.
boys?
How old do you think he
Honestly,
is?
the comms were pretty intense.
16?
Right? Shifty was just trying to play his life inside a building, and I looked up. Sage
14,
called out there's
15?
a bunch of people floating, so I looked up and got like 3 free
Now
kills
imagine,
with a sniper.
$100,000 split it 3
Yeah,
ways.
it was really insane
That's
end game.
still
So like, you can't really call on what's going on,
an
but
godly
you know, we were
amount.
doing our
What's
thing.
that?
You boys are known as a bunch of
300
aggressive slayers. How are you finding the signal 50?
330,000?
I think Shifty's the only one sniping on our team, so as long as he keeps getting all those picks, he's had like 10 kills that game, so we're doing pretty good on slaying-wise.
Let's come over then to you, Sage. So tell
School
me
has the EA
about
Sports
why
official team. My
your
brother-in-law
did
is doing
have
it.
trouble when you
Bro,
got
that's so
together
legit.
to take on the World Series
So legit.
and now how you've managed to bring things to the point where you're standing on stage with me having had a
And
victory.
so
I mean,
it's so hard to bring this concept into, you know, the nation that is so rural with country
We said
folk.
it's a humble. We didn't want to go into
I mean, I'm
stage
country,
two
don't get me
knowing,
wrong,
you know,
but I like to think
we're
I'm
the best
more
in the game.
in
We
the
want it to be
center.
like, we need to know our ground and know how we're going to be. Ever since
But
then,
my
we've
nephew
only
loves video
mainly
games.
lost 2 to 3 tournaments.
He
out of
would
maybe the 10 that
pursue
we've played.
anything about a video game.
I trust my teammates.
But unfortunately,
I trust
his
D to get my
family
trades. I trust my IGL
pushes
50,
him
and
the
ever
other
since then,
direction.
we've been
They're the
playing perfect.
traditional, no,
You've
you
been
can't
playing
play video
incredibly
games. You got to limit your
second
video
in
game
the
and
first
take all
drop of
this
the
other
day.
stuff.
Now
And
you've
I'm
got
that
victory to your
uncle that's
name.
like, no,
Do
bro,
you think you're the
you
best
play your
team
heart out.
of the 50 here
Get
on
good.
land?
I think that my team is probably up there. I wouldn't say we're the best. We still got a lot to work on, but I know for a fact when everything clicks, like how we played that last map where our comms are still crazy, but we still understand each other and we still trust each other's judgment, and we play it perfectly.
Well, your trust is well-founded. Thank you so much, London. Give it up for Team Biffle.
I want to marry an English gal so bad. That's no secret.
All right, game 2 is done. What an
Not
exciting
everyone's cut out for
once
physical
again
sports, so
with
it's
a
good
new
that
fresh
people with
winner.
disabilities
Will we get back
and
to
have
back?
not
Well,
physical
maybe
attributes
so,
to have something
but we
they can
haven't
do
got
and
it
love.
just
Absolutely.
yet. Hey,
Mitch.
check it
Absolutely.
out. Dandro,
See, I was
straight
that
to
kid
Jimmy
that
Enigma,
played
straight to
all
you,
the
'cause I want to
sports,
talk
man.
about a good
All the
recovery
sports. Loved
from
it.
TBE.
But
First out,
video
they
game
run
was
into Huskers, they
still,
run into
like, we still play
Donkey,
video games every
but they
night,
have a
me and my
better
brother.
chance this time.
Yeah,
Video game was
absolutely.
a
I mean,
huge
we spoke a
attribute
little
to
bit
my
previously,
life.
or at least I did, about the landing spot situation and how that's going to evolve throughout this afternoon. And one of the things is that TBE here refused to be bullied out of their spot after they end up falling first in map 1. It's a heck of a bounce back indeed, taking out Team Vonbot and hunting Huskers to the river to make sure they're out of the way. And I spoke to Tommy literally seconds before map 1 started, and he said what he wants to do is establish space. In this meta, he wants space, time to get his team together, and he's doing just that by pushing those squads away.
I really would like to see Huskers do well. I don't know why, but he's just such a good player.
Long enough to run into Hisoka and just find trouble once again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, being
Z-Laner's
but let me
good
right
too,
here, you
but
saw, hopping down from observatory and then like they were rotating in. Guess what? They rotate into.
I just would like to
a
see
single
it
50 into Huskers. But the good thing about that, even though Rated went down, yes, he still had his gulag. So yes, recovery was the name of the game. I feel like for some of these squads though, the way that everything was rotating though, it was kind of like a little more centralized to where they had to get to those buildings first, right? So recovery the name of the game, but for these teams here, reflections, I will tell you. This part specifically with
that was a
Hisoka
couple
was
of kills right
absolutely
here. Boom,
insane.
drop
He
shot.
found a flare on the ground right here, which you saw. Oh, if he was able to pop that off, that would have been a different game.
He secures top 10. Danjo, talk to me about this in game.
If he would have killed him with that
this
pistol,
game
that would
was
have been
just
amazing.
insane. You see, obviously, Shifty, Sage, and Biffle. Huge thing that was a little bit minor. Shifty hit a flare to, I believe, get one of the other players back in. And we just see Biffle pick up that sniper and is going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you hear them speak in the interview there about how much they believe in each other and all of this, but I was speaking to Repulse himself last night late on, and I was talking to him about this squad, and there was a bit of a difficulty for them when they first came together, some inconsistencies, they had real takeover moments, but some underwhelming performances as well for a trio as talented as this, and the problem was they were having was that the 3 superstars, the 3 slaves, that's very difficult to merge together, and what they've done as a trio is come together, assess where it is that they can be the best team, and they are delivering today.
Can we talk about Team Diaz and Mir representing Mexico?
Moving so much stuff in Eve, OMG. What do you mean? What are you moving?
Silently in that 4th place spot.
You're moving something?
Yeah, I mean, they have been. And 4th place is big for them because we talked about our expansion region. They're outnumbered. 21 NA, 20 EU. You only got 9 expansion regions. We've already seen Japan make an impact, and now you're seeing Mexico with 2 teams make a big impact. And that's what I was saying. Like, crowd wasn't getting loud for them, but they're a team that is still making
so there's North America.
an impact. And also could, in fact, win today. Your team are map 2 winners, Biffle, Shifty, and Sage, 24 eliminations. Wow. That's the biggest game we've got yet. Hisoka, I thought, was setting the pace.
Moving loads of items down to a central location to play with people. Are you going to like get into a war? Look, if you get into a war, I want in. That's what I want to do.
How's it treating you, right? And Biffle goes, I'm not even using it. Yet we see evidence in the final clip of him just beaming players out of the air, okay? So wonderful job coming out from Diaz Biffle. He's an incredible player. We didn't talk about him pre-show, but we didn't forget about him either, right? He's that guy that can make some magic happen, and he is making some magic happen. Well, that's it for map number 2. 4 more games to go. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our standings as well as map 3 coming your way.
Imagine how far gaming has come in the last 20 years. Like, nobody could have fathomed where it is now. It's where it would have been back then. And if that's just 20 years worth of work,
get free games
imagine
and
the
content
next
with
20
Prime Gaming.
years.
Visit gaming.amazon.com
That's insane.
and link your accounts.
I honestly
HyperX is the
believe
official
that
peripheral
VR would
partner
have
of
been
Call
the
of
thing
Duty.
right now.
The World
With
Series
the Oculus
of
and
Warzone
everything that came
Global
out,
Final
but
is
it
here.
really did not
And
take
so
off.
is the Solo
And
YOLO
it
pack.
still may.
Drop into the game
But
with
I
the
really
essentials,
still think PC
including
gaming
the Red
is going
Mist
to be what's
XMR
going to be
blueprint,
around.
the Solo YOLO Chimera blueprint.
First place
animated
gets
cooling
100,000,
cards,
second place gets
emblems,
80,000,
and
third
more.
gets
The
65.
pack is available using COD points. Visit the
Jeez.
in-game store now.
I mean, to be honest, you would have to
Hey, we're
get
here
top
with Team Feed for
10
Kill, and
10 FIFA.
If you got top 10, you basically, it paid
my
for
teammates,
itself.
I'm sure you guys already know, but I'm with Oki and Wiz, the boys, repping the European squad, obviously, on the stage, front and center.
Except you haven't met him in person until today.
Until last night.
Okay, sure.
Last night, and both of them were, you know, a little bit stumbling around, enjoying London, but
Sure,
it was.
sure.
I mean, it just felt natural. We've been playing together so long.
So you're comfortable. You're 30 minutes outside of your house.
Yep.
But you're not in your shed. Talk to me a little bit about it, okay? Why the shed?
Originally, I'd be sitting playing in the front room, 60-inch TV, and you can't really sit playing a tournament for money when you got your little brother walking through, drying his hair out the shower. Didn't really have the room for a setup, so my dad just like took every penny he'd saved, built a shed in the garden, got me out there, put some internet in it, and just went from there, you know?
You really have
So that's a very supportive father.
Right.
Oh,
Saw
And
potential
so
in
as
his
such, we're
son.
gonna actually have you
Dropped
rate
every penny
some
he had
sheds,
to build his son's
between
career.
1 to 10.
That's,
We're
I
gonna
mean, that's
start
a good
with
father.
this nice shed here, FIFA.
Lovely.
It's
it
That's
looks
not
a
a
bit like
shed.
mine,
That's a
actually. I'm not
freaking
gonna lie.
house.
Sure, I give that
Midge,
a
there's your
solid
RV
so how about
cabin
this
park right there.
What do we think about this?
I love that shed, man. I'll give that shed like a, I'll give that one a 7 because it is wall bangable.
What about this shed?
Yeah, that's prime real estate actually. But I'll give it like a 5.
Okay, great. Okay, this shed, this is a fun one. You've got some tools that you could potentially use in this shed. What are we thinking?
Funny story actually. My dad loves
Oh, that's a
flowers,
very good point.
and,
Have
there's
to
a lot of
figure out how to
flowers
help
outside the shed
people
he
with
likes to
motion sickness for
decorate,
VR. A
and,
lot
my
of
house
money
only
for
has
so
one
many
bathroom.
tourists
So if someone's in the
getting sick after
shower,
spending $600
the flowers become the
$600
toilet.
and stuck not being able to play it. So I have an Oculus, and I used to get motion sickness.
Well, FIFA, this has been an incredible
but
interview
it
thus
only
far.
lasts, so I
Really
could only
wish you
play the game
best.
for about
You and the
20,
boys,
25
you've got a
minutes,
great
and then I
chance
was
of
like,
winning
I'm
it.
out.
Thanks for rating those
But I
sheds.
kept
a lot
playing
of fun.
it,
So
kept
thanks
playing
for
it.
being here. I
Eventually, it got
appreciate
away,
Connoisseur like
and,
these,
and I don't have any more.
I mean, why am I here?
Oh, come on.
Final shout outs to the Shed Gang. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Obviously, shout out to my dad. He's my number one, my best friend, manager, every dad, obviously.
Good.
Shout out to
He
the
better.
support
He
every
better
game.
thank him.
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much.
I'd like to.
I'll see you
I'd like
guys
to
out there.
thank my
Hopefully
auntie.
for the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.
She was very supportive. Gave me good words. Who spent every dime? Yeah, my father. But I'd really like to thank my auntie. All right, I'm gonna leave that up in the background. Let's get into some Call of Duty in the meantime. Let's get into some Call of Duty. Why is it not playing? Why is it spicy? To be fair, this is my first cup of coffee for the morning. I've been watching the Call of Duty, and I was like, let's stream. I'll have my cup of coffee. I'll get waking up, and then we'll play some Call of Duty. We'll watch some of the tournament. This is really cool. I really like it. I'm glad they're still doing that. I don't even know what this means. $100. I mean, it's for a good cause, but $100. Sheesh. That's a lot. Oh, let's do some. Unhinged again. And you know what? Let's mimic what they're doing. All right. Let's just go ahead and get the old Signal 50. Let's come here. I think it was the. Yes, it was that. Let's go bullet velocity. So a lot of people are running this thermal. I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one. Underbarrel. I'm not sure if anybody's running an underbarrel, to be honest with you, because it is a sniper. See, I don't think they're running really don't think they're running that. Well, to be honest with you. That. Go with that. We'll give it a try. That's all we can do. Here's a question for you, Midge. Do I want to go on a black bear hunt or a African safari hunt? Both with the bow.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon. Enemy soldier incoming.
Black bear with bow seems tough. I'm even doing it with a recurve.
Stand by for deployment to war zone.
Let him. So good. Dude, those people are always loud. It's just children. Just obnoxious, snot-nosed children.
5 seconds.
Alright, if I want to get a team, I'm gonna have to hit this really fast.
Battle Royale. Gas is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone.
There's gonna be a lot of people.
Drop point flight. Double XP deployed.
Go. Coming from the back.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
God, wouldn't it be funny if nobody came here and it's just me? So close.
I've detected an increase in your speed.
You're losing ground.
I don't know what to him though. Wait, is that the obnoxious kid? Dude, that is that obnoxious kid. How do I get out of here?
Let's split this loot 50-50, shall we?
He doesn't know where I am. He doesn't know where I am. Where'd he go?
Your heart rate is elevated.
I mean, I had him dead to rights, to be honest. Whatever. That was so funny.
Your chances of winning just dropped below 10%. Better pick me back up if you want to win this thing.
I want to know where this stupid snot-nosed kid went. No, I'm not honestly overly worried about it. It's just... I'm sure that took off so fast.
Anything in there for me?
Probably come back and buy a UAV.
You've got a loadout drop inbound.
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO.
Gas is
Recon
closing
is
in.
online.
Relocating the
Hunt
safe
those
zone.
bastards down, boss.
Occupation scan. The enemy's scanning the area. Keep low or use the water to stay undetected.
UAV is bingo.
Enemy recon is scanning the area. Stay low. Enemies detected. Locations marked.
Let's find this little snot-nosed kid.
Anything in there for me?
Gas is moving.
Alright, where is he? There's one right here.
Black site is clear.
It's not good to get
Area
fixated
secure.
on one person all the time.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Should be ghosted. That's good. Go back on the roof. Or Always check the rooftops. Heard a door. Not sure where to go, to be real honest with you. There's a lot of places somebody can just snipe from behind. 2 boxes here. My guy's breathing so hard.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Okay, there's a truck there. Where am I going to rotate? I think I need to rotate left. High ground. Stick to the high ground. Gonna go for it.
Gas is closing in.
Car right here. Or gas. Can't run in a bush. Makes sense. Tower. All right.
Hostile UAV in the area.
I believe I'm ghosted. I hope. All right. I know there's a guy over here.
Hostile airstrike near your location.
Okay. Alright, there he is. That stupid thing. He's over here. There's an open door. I don't think he's going to push. I think he's going to run away. That's what I honestly think. I forgot to put on my explosive rounds or whatever. Question is, did he run? Did he relocate?
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Supply crates are restocked. Advise you load up now.
With a whole lot. Now we can see what's on their mind.
LMG sniper combo. Who'da thunk?
Gas is inbound.
Enemy UAV active. Enemy UAV overhead.
The gulag is locked down.
Be right back. Gonna lurk for a bit. I appreciate it, buddy.
Inbound. Safe zone relocated. Friendly loadout drop on the way. Got gas moving in.
Just crawl.
Your heart rate is elevated.
If I can get to the edge of this wall, I'll be good.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
I've detected an increase in your speed.
Oh.
25 remain. They hit us hard that time.
Your heart rate is
Good for that dude, huh? Good for that dude.
On pole, but thinking on their feet. Congratulations. Another Omid victory.
Omid on top, Goosh? Omid on top. Something about those players are just performing different on land. We've seen it throughout all of the stages. Stage 1, Stage 2. Last chance qualifiers, they were all remote, and the questions were asked, would our players be able to perform on land on this stage? In front of a crowd, more than 2,500 people in the building cheering them on, and they're locked.
It's an incredible team that's come together. A fellow Tennessean with Braxton, Finessing, been in the scene since way before Warzone, even into Blackout, and yet they're still proving that they're one of the best here on main stage. Map 3 victors. That's huge for their point totals. I'm gonna have to look back and see where they were. I don't think they were in the top 10, Tiff, but you can see the excitement on his face. They're pumped about that one.
There should be a replay.
Right? You have to think about the journey that our players have made. They've been grinding, crawling for whatever tournament they could get their hands on, but to perform and take a coveted win, a map win on LAN is something that hardly anyone can say. And so far, we've had 3 different winners. Soka, map number 1. Biffle, map number 2, and Braxton taking map number 3.
Look, I gotta give a shout out to TBE as well. They stayed alive as long as possible. They had a fantastic map. They grabbed a massive multiplier. Tommy had 11 or 12 eliminations by himself. They're back. The question is, where are they on that leaderboard? Braxton, the same. Where are you? You could have a fantastic third map, but if you don't have a first, you don't have a second, you're dropping some goose eggs, you're dropping some 5-point games. It's not gonna be enough to maybe earn your way to some money, but not earn your way to $100,000 at the top of this leaderboard.
Especially during map number 1, we were looking to see what that first team eliminated from our entire global land would be. I was not expecting Frankie to give TBE the coveted wooden spoon, and you can tell Tommy didn't really like it because now they're answering back, and honestly, if you're not gonna get that 2x multiplier, that empathy and Braxton were able to get for the map win, a 1.8 is still pretty good. But let's go ahead and take a look at that HyperX victory moment.
This moment, Tiff, and as Tommy with the pistol in hand, doing everything he can. This is the flare meta that we're in, right? Of course, you've got the 3-2-1 meta with the signals, but when you've got flares in the in-game, for a moment, you have a bit of reprieve flying up into the sky, but the question is, can you land on weapons? This is a key moment looking back at this victory. Braxton was able to find not only a Lockman sub, but also a signal. Gets a couple shots down lane, and guess who's alive to back him up? It's Finessing. Tommy cleaned up by Finessing from distance to keep Brax alive. Down, but not out. Finessing alive, they clean up the victory. Very well done to think on their feet. Sure, they played the last circle well, but thinking on their feet at the end was what won them that victory.
Not only were they able to find weapons, but it's Braxton who comes back in, lands on the mobile buy station, gets himself a Lockman SMG, a Signal 50, and a buyback to bring his team in. So now I know that Frankie is on the floor looking to talk to them, and I'm curious to hear what Braxton and co have to say.
So am I, Tiff, because that final fight was absolutely electrifying. Braxton, you actually managed to take the victory with all 3 of you alive, which was a miracle considering the chaos. Talk to me about how you managed to take the victory.
Yeah, so we got building control. We knew we were going to hold the building. We knew we had a good zone pool.
Such a young
So I
kid.
basically told my boys, you know, stay true, stay home, stay in our building. And once we saw that zone pull farther to that portable buy, I knew we had won the game pretty much because we had the best rotation, and I ended up getting knocked and got flared back, and I was pinging for my teammates, and they held it down, got big kills, and that's how we got the win.
The flares were flying from all of the teams, and when that is happening, are you noticing the other teams around you also using their flares?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people coming back, but a lot of free kills for us.
A lot of free kills, is that what you call the kill on Tommy?
Yeah.
The Brits offering up the free kill. That's where we're going wrong, Europe, I think, because North America, they are doing incredibly well at the moment. Finesse, how are you enjoying the spirit of LAN?
It's really good. I'm a little nervous, but it's really good. We just got to focus. Second half of the tourney, the job's not finished yet.
Do you think that your focus was much better going into that map?
Such
Of
a hard
course.
ass.
I put a lot of trust into my IGL Brax. If he says to rotate, we rotate.
And Braxton, that's lovely words for you, but have you got any nice words for your teammates? Because clearly you're pulling things together here in London.
I mean, I've been playing with them forever. I've known them forever. They got trust in me. I got trust in them. No one I'd rather play with. They're the best in the world.
And why is North America looking like the best in the world right now?
Because EU sucks.
Oh, London! Braxton saying EU sucks. Are you going to let him get away with that? What do we think of Europe, London? I think we got some fans in the audience, although to be honest, London, I think we need to work on it. We're going to head back to the desk with Braxton. Congratulations on the victory.
I heard a lot of boos, but I heard one scream from like somewhere over on the right side. So I was like, there we go. There's somebody out there for NA. Well, NA is looking good. 3 games, 3 different winners. And Brax, for the first time, gets up on the leaderboard super high. Well done. So game 3, a lot to take away from that. First, I'm going to you, Dandro. We discussed StuKX landing and just, or excuse me, StuKX leading the way for EU as a whole. A team that we didn't necessarily cover too heavily in the beginning.
No, I mean, we did cover a lot of them at the top, but this is kind of one of those Europe squads, and on the back end, you know, I mean, sure, there's like the best of the best, and there's sort of the teams that we want to keep on there. But, you know, the one thing I really like is that I'm like seeing them come online. We saw Brax come online. We're starting to see some of these other Europe teams come online, and I'd be curious, Enigma, you're kind of my EU guy. You were hyping them up. You were getting excited while we were watching that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting Team StuKX to be the leading line for Europe. I mean, a couple of our star players aren't performing right now, but the one thing about this Team StuKX squad, they average placing 16th throughout stage 1 and 2, average kills 43rd. But one thing is that they are just here to enjoy themselves, and they certainly are doing today. Some of the interviews I had with them in stage 1 and 2, they were talking about how some of them, they set their roles. One of them is the low amateur that just carries the equipment and plays, while the other two slay out. It is indeed that squad. So yeah, I wasn't expecting them to put up today for Europe, but they are doing that, nearly take a map win there. Right. We have got off to a slow start in Europe, but we're getting better.
Getting better and better, and speaking of which, let's keep that narrative going. TBE recovers game 2, and even better game 3, Dandro.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they do not do what they want in map number 1, right? They go out there, the first team here, it's global land. You don't want that to happen. You need one of these resurging moments to get you back in the game, and that's what happens map number 2, right? You win this critical fight against Huskers and Zidongi, and then you're back in it. And map number 3, well, they just play it all the way to the end. They had high ground, they had positioning. I think they just got a little unlucky with the zone pull. Tommy tries his best, but that's still a really good map 3 out of them to jump up the leaderboard.
Very good map number 3. I go to you, Dream, as we pull up our winner player card, right? Brax, of course, winning there with empathy and finesse, and the first time we really see them shine, and shine they did. A lot of credit given to Brax's the IGL.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy because Tiff was like, yo, on top, like, some of those players, man, I think they had like 9 in stage 2. It's crazy, but recovery from them is absolutely crazy. But one thing that I wanted to point out was how a lot of players were disengaging and re-engaging. I mean, the fact that, like, Sage was able to stay alive for so long, that was the craziest engagement that I've ever seen. But I mean, with Brax, Finesse, and Empathy, this is actually an interesting squad, and of course, players that have been around for a while, wanting to be here to make a name for themselves. Right. But Finesse actually used to play with Invader and Hunt Cities, right? So making a roster change, being able to take that map right there.
That's right.
Putting in them a good spot.
And 20 eliminations, that's the lowest when it comes to map 1 and map 2 and map 3 winners, but a victory nonetheless, and 40 points going their way with the 2. It's still a lot, right? And it puts them up there within conversation, maybe even top 5. We'll see when we come back. But we are going to take a bit of a break. 3 games down, the halfway point has been reached. Therefore, we're going to take a break. When we come back, your halftime show will start.
free games and in-game content with Prime Gaming. Visit gaming.amazon.com and link your accounts. HyperX is the official peripheral partner of Call of Duty. The World Series of Warzone Global Final is here, and so is the Solo YOLO Pack. Drop into the game with the essentials, including the Red Mist XMR Blueprint, the Solo YOLO Chimera Blueprint, animated calling cards, emblems, and more. The pack is available using COD points. Visit the in-game store now.
Hello, I'm Frankie Ward, London resident and the stage host here at the World Series of Warzone 2023 Grand Final, and I'm so excited to have one of those Grand Finalists with us now. Smixy is joining. Hello. Welcome to Europe. This is the first time you've been on this side of the world.
Yes, it is.
I think there are a few people who are really looking forward to seeing you perform on stage as well.
I hope so.
Definitely, I know so.
Like making a video.
You're out there to...
Oh no, I'm gonna cry. Stop. I'm always so emotional. I'm already gonna cry. Okay. Whew.
Yes, Mix, congrats on making it to London again. You absolutely deserve to be there. You have been killing it all year, and we're so proud of you. No matter what, make sure you go out there and show the boys what's up.
Hi, Smix. It's Kins here. I just want to say congratulations on London. You've been killing it all year and kill it in London. Good luck.
Hello, just wanted to stop by and tell you that I'm so proud of you, Smixy, and I cannot wait to watch you and your teammates go crazy on the main stage. Good luck.
What's it like knowing that there are so many people who want to see you do well in London?
It's awesome, honestly. I feel very grateful. Excited to be here.
Shit, cut down. Shit, cut down. Yeah, that nigga slide on that beat. I hit that gun a little bit, and then next thing I go so big, and mama think she in my bed.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon.
No, that's over.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Jumping out that car, running.
Water? Yep.
Enough training. Now we face the enemy for real. Battle Royale. You've got gas closing in fast. Get to the safe zone. Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
My bad. Hold up. We got one other here. Hold up! Wait a fucking minute! Fucking punk ass bitch, dude.
Your squad mate has
He's got a pistol.
Surviving earns them redeployment.
Yo.
What's up? Alright, let's see if I can get my ass out of this fucking gurag. I hate this game mode because I always try to go to fucking pick up people before I start shooting them, and it just fucks me every time.
Away.
Gas is inbound.
Fatty fat fat. You're dead.
Squad mate has been cleared for redeployment.
Stop making fun of my weight.
Your team is in the safe zone.
I invited him, he didn't want to join.
His
Dropping
loss.
into the AO. Your squad mate located a black site. Escort them to the target.
I'm back.
Hey! Paulina, what's up, boy? Sweet.
Oh, you're back? Nice.
Hey. Oh, this guy up here.
You and Toby are gonna do dishes?
Oh my gosh, dude. He doesn't have but he lasered me.
Fight for your chance to redeploy.
Where was my katana?
Apologies for the outburst.
How did we not see him on the map?
That's a good question.
Get out of here, what?
Your squad mate was broken. They are no longer with us. Or your redeployment. Stand by.
I feel like this is the same guy from our team from last game that didn't talk. And now he's come to kill us.
Oh, that would
no.
suck, dude.
Where's he at?
I don't know, but that dude was... here, if you want to accept the invite, bro.
All right, boss.
I'm sent you one, bro. Alright.
Invite sent. Just take it.
Black site is clear. Area secure.
You can die.
Where's he at?
Weapon calibrate. Searching for target.
He's under me.
He's right here. He's got a claymore on the stairs.
Just accept the invite.
He won't accept it.
Let's go buy back.
He's broken.
Stop pushing him. Just buy back and then we all push him.
The invite's out there. If you just accept it, you're in, but...
Only a matter of time till BAI take over. Oh,
Invite sent again.
are you back?
I would not send him an invite anymore.
Take that bathroom. Take that bathroom.
He said he requested.
Alright.
Oh boy,
y'all were
check that
scared. Yeah, we were scared.
I was just trying to buy my friend back.
Scared of having to kill you. Alright. Yeah, we still need a loadout here because I didn't get my loadout.
Booter McBooter took my guns.
Oh, I can drop them. Oh, I can't get this loadout. Can you hit this loadout anymore?
Can you guys buy?
No, we can't hit the loadout anymore, so we have to buy one.
That's fair.
No, you don't need to buy one. There's one already there, over here. Just buy us back.
Yeah, give me back since Duder McFucking Gruger's a bitch.
Whoa! You guys have money. Just buy us back. Or not.
Gas is closing in.
Fucking McGruber.
No, I want to
be on your team. Yeah, I'm dead, because your ass fucking killed me because I jumped over to get you an invite. You fucking just ended up pooning my cheeks.
I couldn't trust anyone. I didn't see no invite.
Oh, dude, we were sitting them left and right.
Let's move on. Here's a self-revive for somebody. Y'all want one? I'll pick it up for you.
Yeah, please do. Because something tells me
fucking
McGruber's
ripped
gonna
here.
fucking... I'm on my way back over.
Hey, dude, can I have my guns back?
Who said that?
Me. Katie. Right here.
Your vitals are off the charts.
Hey, K. Is it Casey or K? Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Every follow helps. You are now in the draw for a brand new Scuff controller. Need some more money. Hear it? I don't know.
Careful, there's a sniper that way.
Sorry. Drop headed your way. Get your squad mate alive. Most wanted contract complete.
Got another loadout?
I couldn't access the other one.
You can get this one, I think?
Got a loadout here.
Too late.
Anything in there for me?
Nothing wrong with 2 loadouts.
There's a guy right
I think we got
here.
enough
And then that
loadouts.
drone
Good
just went up
God,
over
man.
here.
Make sure to buy us some reinforcement.
I got comms on me. On the island.
Yeah, it's there you go.
Got a buy station here.
Copy. UAV is on station. Recon online.
Recon is online. Hunt those bastards down, boss. Come out with your hands up and no one has to get hurt. We promise.
I have a munitions box if anybody needs it.
RTB at this time.
Shall I use it?
I have an armor box that I could throw down.
Use both of those.
I can't believe I don't have one of those yet.
But we should get together. Let's go to the peninsula here.
Peninsula? Guy in our stronghold over there.
Armor box going down on pink.
Anything in there for me?
Can't even pick that up.
Bye, bitch.
Bye, Schnookums.
There's a revive pistol here if someone wants it.
I don't go down.
He just dies.
He's over here. On
Come
blue
out with
pink.
your hands up and no one has to get hurt. We promise.
Gas is moving.
Can hit this balloon.
Move to the safe zone.
Only a matter of time till BAI take over. Sorry. Are you back?
Alright, where'd that guy go? We lose him?
Somewhere over here. I don't know where he's at. Might be in your building or in this building.
Okay. Oh, there's a guy over back here.
Going up.
Oh, someone's doing the nuke? Go get that guy.
Yeah, let's get in the car.
I don't have gas up here. There's a guy pushing the gas station.
Moving here.
Where?
He just bought back.
He's got a dog with him too.
He's got a dog.
The team doing the nuke is in a helicopter.
Moving here.
Please obey all speed limits.
Moving.
That's fine.
Moving here.
Coming to the car now.
Did that guy come from the helicopter?
What?
The gas is gonna push him. We can get him here.
He came back.
I'm keeping count.
We gotta move.
We gotta kill that guy.
I was sitting there leaning out the window like, who the fuck's driving this bitch? It was me.
It was you. Get in 3.
Oh, shit.
Damn, everyone's shooting his helicopter.
Go to the toilet, maybe. Behind us, there's a quad.
Just try to talk to everybody and say, just go after the guy with the nuke. Go after the guy with the nuke.
You're losing ground.
If we can get the whole lobby after that guy, we'll be good.
Head to the safe zone now.
All we need is our squad.
In hopes and dreams.
Only a matter of time till we AI take over.
I wonder if it's a guy that wants to do it solo or if he's squatted up too.
He's gonna be highly disappointed.
Well, there's a car.
Got a truck in front of us.
Yeah, don't shoot him.
Everyone
Don't
don't
shoot him.
shoot.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot him, don't
Just
shoot
go
him.
after the guy with the nuke.
Don't
Go with
shoot,
the guy with the
don't
nuke.
shoot,
Nuke. Get the guy with the nuke.
Oh, they shot at us. They shot at us. They shot at us.
Ah, they got me.
No! Man down!
Bro, y'all gotta go with the guy with the nuke. I gotta redeploy it.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Oh, he sniped me! This is fucked. Can you tap me? Let's go. Oh, he's on me! Fuck, he's on me! Help me!
What happened to the
Hey. Well, they shot us. The nuke is right here. The nuke is right here. He's in the building. He's in the building.
Let's go, boys. Fuck him.
Let's push the nuke.
He's on me. He got me.
All right, I downed one. Broke the other.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
He's on the roof. On the roof. On the roof. Fuck, he killed me twice in a row, dude.
Who killed you?
The guy with the fucking crown.
Well, if we just go attack them one by one, we're gonna lose every time.
Yeah, well, I was falling in the sky.
I got you, dude.
And he's got teammates, by the way.
Oh, I got him through the wall.
Nade him, nade him, nade him.
I got him. I killed him through the wall.
Oh, there's a guy
Gotta
resident.
get back to the other one. No, that's the only guy. I killed him.
No, he's only by himself. Whenever I've seen a cocaine.
Yeah, I killed him.
Oh, okay.
You're good. Should be
Can
good
you buy
now.
me back at the buy station? By chance?
Yeah.
There's a portable dropping right next to yellow. Nope, nope, where's it going?
Bomb site.
Oh, there's so many people in here, bro.
Fuck, this is getting hectic.
Oh, we have to take the crown?
Yes, that's what I was saying. You gotta get in there.
Oh, shit.
It's on the roof.
The king's on the buy station?
Nice clutch buyback.
No way, bro.
Oh, come on.
Yes, they do. No! I want to be on your team. Fuck. It's that same guy. He picked it back up.
Alright, dude, I'm right behind you. Don't shoot me. I just said don't shoot me, dude.
And he shot you anyways.
We have room for one more. Send him an invite.
You're on your own here.
Oh, damn, this is... Up, they armed the nuke.
How is that
GG's.
possible?
Play again, nowhere. I'll meet you at Sarah Bay.
They had to be cheating. I got you.
Keep the pressure on.
Taking enemy fire.
Watch your fire! Yeah, leave him be.
Improve that, and guess what? Guess who's fighting at the very beginning of the game, Tiff? Neither team relenting. Who's going to come out this time around? It looks like DBZ, a full team wipe. Send them to the gulag. DBZ, they need to move different. They are not in the money currently.
We're talking all about EU versus NA. Well, the contested airport is just that. And so far, Clutch, Belt, Z-Laner, and Destroy have been able to win this contest each and every time. And that was even more atrocious than the last because half of them didn't even get to pick up a
weapon. It was just starter pistols, but raided Aiden and Adrian, the young gun that has joined up, now known as the Cheddar Brothers. And Aiden himself, I believe his nickname that they told me in the interview was Buddy McBuster. So Buddy McBuster has entered Village.
What a weird nickname.
Buddy McBuster. I'll use that one later. Hey, there's Meeks and Santify. They had a great showing in World Series of Warzone qualifiers leading up to today. So far, not great, but we still have an entire second half of the World Series of Warzone to play. Lovey says he's got the best beard in the game. The question is, does he have the best grenade? Needs to find a knock. Playing low ground's gonna be tough. Looking for another angle. They've lost Reader already, and they've lost Authorized. Lovey in trouble. No, sirree. Bob Meeks on top. Reader in the gulag.
Reader in the gulag indeed, and I did see Aizen in the gulag as well. He was going up against Team Smixy, so Rohan must have been a little bit of turbulence for them because they found themselves early on in the gulag. But Savvy Ultra's back again here at Observatory, collecting cash up, hitting the buy station, trying to get their quick loadout in game to make sure that they can get aggressive. You can see squad number 39 just on the distance, closing up on them, but they're going to be underneath, so no real issue just yet. But Blade trying to get a line of sight, maybe he can get an early pick.
Yeah, we're definitely picking up on some patterns here from a lot of these teams. Of course, they have favorite drop spots. When you have a fairly central zone, you can land in whatever spot on the map that you would like. And it looks like our Asia team, the team that dominated the Asia regional expansion qualifiers, they've been hanging out here in Observatory, but they've been going underground to rotate out nearly every single time. They do not want to risk their life. And we always talk about the high-risk, high-reward playstyle that maybe a DBZ is playing. And some of these other teams, they're worried about staying alive. So that's what our Asia team is doing. We'll see if they're able to find some eliminations and continue to move up this leaderboard as well. A hometown favorite and a shed expert, FIFA kill. Finding a bit of fire, but looking to take down Diegosaurus.
Diegosaur from the back does go down. Abwiz on the low ground. Reaper trying to cover fire. As you can see, Laga just getting into the mix, but Oki, FIFA, and Abwiz able to swarm. And unfortunately, Reaper is just able to plate back up and overlook his teammate while Oki peppers from afar. Now the issue of this is if I'm Reaper on the rooftop, I'm getting out of dodge, I'm playing my life, but you can already see that FIFA closed the gap and is able to wipe the entire team. To the gulag you go.
A huge take early game. FIFA Kill's team really needs to start moving up this leaderboard quickly. All of a sudden, we're going to be taking a look at that leaderboard. Not only who's near the top in the top 3 spots, but it's top 25 walking away with any cash today. You get 26, you're walking away with $0 to your name, unless, of course, you win that solo YOLO in the 7th map. Of course, it's all going to be on your own back, as it is solos. It's called Solo YOLO for a reason. We've had a modicum of different winners in the past, Tiff, and could be anyone's game. We saw that wheel being spun, trying to get some predictions. Intex not leaving anything up to chance, though. Quickly cleans up Gooey. Teammates on the move.
Oh, Dex. I've seen him hit a crazy shots throughout Warzone competition history. Able to stow a flare for later should they need it, but Team eBay going big, taking out Team Jowo, and Elo finds a little bit of distance here. And Champy close the distance. CCR goes down. Elo able to grab that, just going through, cleaning it up, and now adding some eliminations to them. But I keep an eye on this. Stukax and Hisoka, they've been going back and forth in that top 3 positioning, and honestly, they're doing incredibly well here, averaging 24.1 points per game. But let's toss it on over to Frankie, who's got Smixy on deck.
Thank you very much, Tiff. These interviews are sometimes very hard to do because obviously the team wants to focus and get back into the next game. Smixy, tell me how your day is going so far, because I know the last map has not been great for you.
Yeah, no, we're definitely struggling, but you know what? The last 3 games, we weren't playing as a team, and then we just lost our initial gunfight in this map, so it is what it is. All we can do is do better in the next 2.
Do you think you can spend the time now focusing on how you can rebuild as a team?
Yeah, we've been discussing, but you know, if we don't win our initial fight, then there's not much that we can do.
Why do you think you're losing that initial fight? Is it always the same team that you're dropping with?
No, we've been getting contested by different teams, so we'll see.
Okay, we'll see. Well, I'll let you guys get back into focusing on your opponents, and we'll head back into the game.
Well, Tiff, that was a good, interesting interview because, well, sometimes when you take those early fights, they don't go your way, and we've seen it happen time and time again, not only with a team like Smixy, but also TBE at the very beginning of the game. Now, TBE has bettered themselves, though. They had a massive last couple maps, and you can see a fight going on screen. Echo
finding his first elimination, but it gets revenge from his teammate. TBE is inside the top 5 after a nearly dropped map at the very beginning. Be interested to see where they fall at the end of the 4th.
That just goes to show you how it just takes one game to turn the tides. Second in map number 2 and already breaking into the top 5, but it's this team on your screen that has been, lo and behold, the front runners of the entire global finals seal at World Series of Warzone so far at 109.4 points, well into game number 4, and they're gonna continue on that momentum. Shifty, Sage, and Biffle, the titans here of the lobby.
Nice aerial view of Shucks. There was a couple teams out there that said they needed to watch out for Shucks, and a couple teams that said, well, if I see Shucks, I'm sending Shucks. So some difference in opinion on skill level, but everyone has something to prove here, Tiff. Taking a look back, I would love to see Juki's really has had a tough tournament thus far. I was looking back at the leaderboard. I think they're outside of the money currently, and it's not all that close. They've been contested off drop, and seemingly things aren't going their way. They need to get a move on, and they need to get a move on now. Juki's, Vision, Lennon, a chance to go big here. They need a monster map to climb back into the running.
Lennon found himself in the gulag, and it looks like Vision's gonna join him. Juki's last on Al Mazrah for the squad, and they have the high ground sway, but they're gonna be able to push the issue. Invader doubles down and completely stack onto Juki's. That is a full squad wipe to the gulag, and you heard Smixy in that interview that Spranky just had with her, how tough it is to go to the gulag early. One bullet can make the difference. Now checking in with Aiden over here at Observatory.
Well, every team did a ton of research, which means every team knows that Savvy Ultras and Blade are gonna be at Observatory. There go Blade, and the entire team is wiped. I think they're out of this map. Unfortunate circumstances, and when you can't pivot off your initial landing spot, maybe you haven't tried something new and things aren't going your way, you only have a couple more maps to go. You've got to make a move now. I would love to see where StukeX is.
I wonder
show the EU
what
folks here
majority
in
of the
London
players
some
are playing,
love,
like
and they've
mouse
been
and
playing
keyboard, or are they
fantastic
controller?
all day today. Currently situated in 3rd place, just right behind Hisoka. StukeX has been going big today. I'd love to see what they're doing and what's setting them apart from the rest of the EU competitors.
Yeah, they've been really solid. StukeX out of Germany, Boogs and Benzi both from the UK. I mean, look, they've transferred the leadership on that squad pre-stage 1, pre-stage 2. At this point, StukeX is the brain behind that squad. They only thought they would get maybe top 10, top 15, and they are nestled into a top 3 position as we work our way through the rooftops with Z colors on your screen with Team Swag.
They get Stuo, Inxian, and Padzuka on the other side. They're actually picking up the rotation. They found Super Evan on rotation. Find him off the top of the building. Swag's down as well. Color's in trouble. Color's last alive for his team. It's Inxian, it's Stuo, it's Padzuka going massive. Looks like they were able to answer back on 1, but they are able to get the cleanup. Still a 2v1, and Almond's right around the corner to potentially pick up a 3rd. This could be massive for Stuo and Inxian. Hey, I know there's a lot of people watching at home that have never seen Inxian's face, and he's showing face today. Full wipe on Team Swag.
Z Colors was just trying to get out of that engagement. He didn't have any smokes to cover for his rotation out, and you can just see as soon as they swarm, but Super Evan was able to win his gulag, and you can see we're hitting the rotation with Team StukeX, but Empathy, Finessin, and Braxton, your former Map 3 winners, taking on the Titans of Aiden, Rated, and the young gun Adrian. You know, we were talking about nicknames earlier. Well, you know, Adrian's is little A, dubbed by Rated. It's kind of cute, but he is that young up-and-comer, just turned 18, finally able to be one of the first major competitions here from Activision, because that's just how it is. He moved and wanted to compete, and they are throwing it down here.
Yeah, totally agree. Somebody that's continuing to prove that his name and the kind of reputation that follows him is true to form. They've got an opportunity to do here at map 4. They got to win this gunfight. It's going to be tough. Let's take a look at the map. And again, if you want to take a look at the map, go head over to the Call of Duty Echo channel on Twitch. You can see this at all times. And you can see where our zone is pulling to. Well, Tiff, it's probably going to be the marshlands or just outside of Al Sharim Pass. I'm excited to see what happens as the teams coming out of Observatory have a little bit of a moment of reprieve to fight each other and see who the last team standing will be in Observatory before the next zone pulls.
Well, then where Aiden and co are is going to be absolutely solid to rack up a ton of eliminations, holding Marshlands hostage. But I'm keeping my eyes on the teams that are rotating out of that southeastern side. Team Echo and Tom Sturbaum are going to have a really tough rotation. But so long as Aiden and Rated can hold this tight, you can even see Empathy and Braxton, they have the same idea. If they can just lay the land, take space here, even Aizen going out early on to DBZ at Airport have made a nice regain because they went up against Smixy and the Gulag and mostly won theirs.
Yeah, I was about to ask if we could take a look at this because it's our top two teams fighting. Mayapo, Skullface on the other side of Sage, Biffle, Shifty. They've already gotten better of their opponents once. The question is, can they do it again? Shifty needs to go big here against Mayapo. Fantastic place, grenade to break plates. Mayapo had to back off. You don't hit that nade, Mayapo grabs a knock on Shifty.
Sage is down, but does have a self-res. You can see that Shifty is able to tap him. Basically, what that'll happen is able to preserve it, but look what that does. It gives Hisoka time to get a pick onto Biffle and send him into the Gulag. We knew Mayapo from Team Soka was on the rooftop. A man of few words lets his gun do the talking, but Shifty able to navigate the fence line, just looking for an opening. He spots Soka, but not able to connect just yet. The former teammate looking to take Shifty down.
Sage is gone as well because of a third party from Desmond, Nico Infinite, and of course Crowder. They've got to get involved. They're lingering on the edge of the money. They're a fantastic team on rotations, but they need eliminations, and they found a third party to get one pick. You get a couple here, there, the next zone, and the next. All of a sudden, you're looking up and you're closing in on double-digit eliminations. Mayapo in the Gulag, and it's against Biffle, Tiff. This is huge, and Biffle wins it. Biffle wants the 1v1 against Mayapo, and this time proves Mayapo wrong. Biffle wins the Gulag.
Hey, you heard Mayapo talking about the 1v1s that he likes to take. Well, he lost it straight to Biffle. That nade forced him out of cover and straight into Biffle's weapon. But you can see we're looking on the flare. We've got smokes in the distance now. Hisoka has taken to the roof, but Sage, can he take down FIFA in the Gulag? Lethal's going out. Snapshot's not connecting. He's got the Molotov in hand, throws it immediately where he thinks FIFA is, but FIFA gets the opening shots.
Plays the wrap. FIFA should know where he is. FIFA rotating in kind. Crowd is starting to cheer FIFA's name, but time is running out.
Skynade.
The Skynade hits. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run around this stadium. FIFA on flag here shortly, pushes the fight. No! Sage answers back and wins it. And the five-person in a crowd over to my right goes crazy.
What an amazing
The entire crowd primarily being from EU here to support them, but for those who have traveled across the pond to support their North American teams flying out. But here's the deal, Aiden and Rated have maintained the positioning here at Marshlands. It's giving them that overview. You can see in the distance, Team Echo has still got into zone, but they're relatively split on that northern river across from Marshlands. But this is what I was worried about. We knew it was a 3-2-1 meta with the Signal 50, and Adrian has it in hand, keeping an eye out. We got a crack already. Castillo, you gotta be worried.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to be if you're Aiden, Rated, and Adrian. I did spy Aizen down below. I think it was Gromalok somehow stabilizing after the DBZ encounter. Got a moment of reprieve here before the chaos ensues of all the teams trying to rotate in, and we might finally see some water zones. We might finally see some F-Tac sieges. I know Skullface had pulled one out earlier to prepare for it, but it stayed on land. This time around, I have a feeling we're gonna see something crazy underwater.
When our players make that F-Tac siege loadout, they come up with such cunning names. I think Z-Smith himself called it like the shark catcher or something, like my shark loadout, so you can just get into the water. And that makes such a big difference, because if you don't have that F-Tac siege in hand, you will not be able to fire underwater. But Mayapo back in to join Skullface and Soka. A nice buyback or a flare. Let's jump into a listen and check out what their next move is.
Mate, you have your blue lock show, right?
No. Oh,
behind you! Behind you!
Three in the bridge, Three in the bridge. Under the bridge, right under.
Somebody lagging, holy shit.
I can't get the flare.
Probably underwater. I'm smoke again, I'm gonna smoke again.
You got the flare though?
I do, I'll flare.
How did you want? Under the bridge, 15.
Okay. We gotta keep swimming. Swim to these other buildings.
We gotta go, Mark.
Guy landed in the water over here.
Yeah.
Keeping eyes for a school?
No more smoke, by the way.
Hey, good use of the flare and smoke to get Skullface back into the lobby. And you know what happens? They're not necessarily going to immediately drop down on them. It's not necessarily safe, but Skullface can call out for the rotation that Soka and Mayapo are making. But Sage over here intense, running into a little bit of an issue. Shifty and Biffle still alive, but Sage on the ground going up against multiple teams. But it's the starter pistol from Palooka that comes in and takes him down.
Flex, Palooka, Tojo, they got 15th in stage 2, just barely eking their way skipping past LCQs. Here making a name for themselves on main stage, taking down the current leaders and the reigning champs of the first 3 maps in terms of point totals. And there are a ton of teams in this area, front, back, left, right, and everywhere in between. You gotta fight together and fight as a unit. Which team do you focus? And well, Stukex finally on main stage, all of a sudden getting shot from behind. They still come out on top. Stukex last alive for his team, and King AJ right around the corner.
Able to survive thus far, but the rotation's not over. You can see just in that mini-map to your upper left-hand side of the screen, all of the congestion that lies ahead of him. Team 26, that's gonna be Tactical Brit, is going to have the ultimate high ground, but not before they have to get through Dongy and co. So things are gonna look a little messy for them, as you can see Team Jowo going to fall.
Wars does win the Gulag against Clown, so should be coming back free and clear. Question is, do you land or again kind of play that aerial recon, almost micro UAV that you can play up in the skies? Stukex trying to stay alive, and it looks like Prodigy's gonna leave him alone for now, so Stukex might be able to buy some time and hopefully buy his teammates back. As TBE all up, all alive, but not a lot of resources to share. Question is, where do you go from here? You're not quite in zone, but you want to pick up Crowder and co as they rotate in. Problem is, if you expose your back, all it takes is the, well, 3, 2, 1 signal shots, and you're out of here. They need a knock to pave a way going forward.
At this point, with Almond not having any shields, no ammo, no resources, you just have to prioritize what you got, but Soka doesn't care. He's gonna go through, down, and out the building, able to grab a crack, but Skullface back in, and Mayapo now not with the squad, but they have found themselves just inside that next circle. And when it closes in 25 seconds, squad number 9, that's gonna be Vonbot, is gonna be forced directly out of their building and into Soka and Skull. And this would be a well-needed team wipe for them so they can get resources, maybe find a flare, get some cash, because buy stations are gonna be few and far between, and you see the smokes come out. TBE in the water just ahead of DJ Moss, but not before Sage and Shifty are nearby.
Noob's in trouble, last alive, goes down. TBE is out of here. That opens a door of opportunity for rest of the teams inside the top 10 and top 15 to start creeping their way up the money. The shark catcher in the water. Unfortunately, when you've got that pistol and you can't shoot down, and good luck, my friend. Z-Smith fully eliminated as well. Sage still alive and finding more kills to boot. Left, right, and center, and a flare up into the sky. A full stabilization for Sage, Shifty, and Biffle as they creep into the next area of land they can find feet upon.
It didn't even matter that DJ Moss did have that F-Tac siege, was able to find a couple eliminations before they were taken out by that starter pistol. You see Biffle flying back in, Shifty in the distance, just trying to anchor down, but he's coexisting nearby. Nico Infinite trying to pay for placement as well, because now that we're into 19 squads, that multiplier 4 kills is going to be climbing up, and Soka still alone with Skullface. There is typically a buy station just ahead, but look how many people you have to go through, Goj.
That's a rude awakening if you're Dongy. Hisoka goes big. Skullface in trouble. Question is, can you get the revive off? You have to play patient. Don't want to give away your position just yet. Other teams are focusing forward, and you've got a moment of reprieve to get it. Skullface able to stay alive. Huge for the team. Skullface goes down again, though. All gonna come down to Hisoka. The fact that he's even alive inside the top 15, Tiff, is ridiculous. They've gone through so much adversity in this map, yet somehow still alive. Speaking of still alive, Shifty on about 2 HP, hiding out in the smoke with 7 eliminations.
Out of plates, forced to dump into the water, but there's Bushwookie C standing on top of Believe and gets taken down. Unreal, unlucky, and Believe racks up
what a
another
good kill.
one down to the final 10 squads of this match. The 1.6x multiplier. You asked for water, and you've got it. But Deuce Amir in the distance, now inside the top 5, solidified, are going to prioritize their rotation, but it's going to be Aiden. They were here first. They prioritized mid-game to make sure that they were able to stay in marshlands. Throwing out the Semtex, is looking for it, but he focuses forward. Doesn't see the man on his right, Goj.
Empathy, Braxton, Finesse, and have an opportunity to do something that no other team has done on land. A back-to-back victory could push them all the way up inside the top 5. Empathy in trouble, but Finessing going massive. Somehow Biffle is still alive with health and plates to boot. But the last remaining player for his team, and finds the flare.
Finds a gas mask, finds a flare. Here comes Shifty. Things are getting a little mixy. He finds another flare. I told you the Hail Mary. Welcome backstage. Let's get another dub. We're so close to the top 5. 6 squads remaining, and he is fighting his way forward, but not before Dusamir, Z-Dark, and Castillo push the issue because his teammates aren't on the ground to help him, and numbers advantage is important, and Biffle takes down 1, but he goes down.
A huge double flare from Biffle means their team's still in it, and they're inside the top 5. They've got the multiplier. Anything else is just bonus, but Mexico has a chance to go big. Not before Shifty tries to answer back. Shifty falls. Finally, the team's eliminated, but inside the top 5, a monster effort to grab a massive multiplier. Mexico is not done yet, Tiff. It's a 2v3. He was on the other side. It's DBZ, all 3 up with the high ground. DBZ needed this to make it to the top 10. DBZ
Oh, there's Z-Laner.
to win the map. DBZ wins map 4, and they're excited for it.
Look, I'm excited for them. Destroy, Z-Laner, and Clutch Belk, your winners of map number 4. From the early game contest at Airport to clutching out the end game. The vibes are always real with Destroy, who often competes with Chrissy and co-eds, but now here in the World Series of Warzone, they take a win.
I will never forget the conversation I had with Clutch Belk 2 champs ago when he was talking about teaming up with Destroy and Z-Laner. He said DBZ is going to the moon, and they've had their adversities. They've had these mountains to overcome, but they're back and they're in final form. There was a question in my mind, Tiff, of you're getting contested every drop. You're outside the money. You're having to fight for every inch, tooth and nail to get anything going in any game. And they proved me wrong. They said, we stick to our strategy. We're confident in it. DBZ on top. Let's take a look at that HyperX victory moment, Tim.
Biffle with 1 flare. Grab some plates. Biffle with another, but it doesn't matter. At this point, you can see 6 squads remaining. DBZ positioned around all of them. And when that next circle pull comes through, DBZ gets the advantage because Biffle runs into a lot of issues here with Team Deuce Amir, forcing Shifty and Sage to land on the high ground with the starter pistols to try and help with some reprieve, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, it is just such a crucial moment, too, because that double flare allowed Biffle's squad to get the 1.8 times multiplier. They've made it into the top 5, and they weakened Mexico. They opened up a window of opportunity that DBZ had to climb through, and they did it. Here it is, the final 2 trying to fight back against DBZ. You see Sirius there, shout out to our Asia team, but not enough. When you got a full team of 3 in the final fight against 2 or 1, you're coming out on top 9 times out of 10, Tiff. A massive victory for DBZ.
Drill charges, Semtexes, restock on, allowing them to have so many lethals there for the end game. But it was Biffle fighting Dusamir on that northern side of the zone, kind of taking a lot of those initial engagements that DBZ was able to spread out on the south, on that high ground, and just really focus on that end game engagement.
Yeah, it's exactly right. They set up perfectly for the final fight. They didn't overextend oftentimes with teams like DBZ that can get really aggressive if not reined in. They might have high ground and they say there's some free kills, we gotta go get them, but hang out and stay on top, keep the high ground so you can grab the 2 times multiplier. Very well done, systematic win from DBZ.
It is the discipline, you're right, the patience to take that in, but they actually opened the door with those drill charges and the Semtexes a lot for that initial, because if they can pick up as many KP at the end, it will only further that 2x multiplier that they get. Let's jump on over with Frankie, who's got DBZ on the stage, so we can hear from him.
I do, and you know what? There have been some pretty hyped teams stood with me in this position today, but this has got to be the most hyped of all. They were in 29th before that drop, and now they should be safely within the top 10. All right, Destroy, debrief for me. You were just excitedly going over the match with your teammates. Share it with the crowd here in London.
Yeah, we had a couple of rough games the first 3. We weren't really getting any zone pulls. Wasn't going in our favor. And then this last game right here, we were able to get a black site, which is just great for our zone pool. So we got got our black site, got our money up, and we had a little sense of direction going into this game. So we got a little back pocket UAVs, and we were able to capitalize on that and get 15 kills as a squad and get a 30-point W.
Yeah, the 30-point W is definitely something you needed. You've still got 2 more maps, though, ahead of us finding out who is going to be taking home the prize today. But talk to me about the end of that last map as well, because it seemed like you were waiting to join the party. Biffle and Derzimir, they were leading the chaos. You guys were watching from the sidelines. When did you know it was time to make your move?
Oh, after that halftime, we had a 15-minute break. We regrouped with the boys, and we were like, look, we haven't been having the best luck the first 3 games. It's time to turn it around. DBZ is going to win these last 3 games, and we're going to bring this big boy home. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
You know what? There's been some boos for NA so far today, but London is loving DBZ. You've got a lot of fans here on this side of the pond. I can see them cheering for you everywhere. This obviously is a team with a lot of history. What would it mean for you to win today in London?
It's been a long time playing with these boys. I consider these guys my brothers at this point. We've been through a lot of ups, a lot of downs. This year wasn't enjoyable for me in the first little half, but this last little bit we've been putting a lot of time in. It's starting to show. That last game right there, it's got us team. We're ready to go back to back on this.
Zelena, are you enjoying yourself now?
Sorry?
Are you enjoying yourself now?
I'm enjoying.
I'm enjoying you enjoying yourself. All right, lads, get back to you before we head back to the death. London, give it up for DBZ!
Well, there it is. Destroyed his crew, taking game number 4 in spectacular fashion, and it feels good. You know, Destroy is a guy that I've been watching literally for the past 4 or 5 years. Every single time I watch him in a competitive landscape, he's always bringing that energy, bringing that hype. I had a chance to ran into him in backstage, and I said, bro, you know, I love you. The hype you bring is crazy, and he brought it, right? I mean, that is a big win, to say the least, and they said the next 3 games are theirs. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but at least they're going, they're shooting for the stars. What a special occasion that would be. Let's recap game number 4, because a lot went down, and it was a very fast lobby, Dandro.
I mean, it was just insanely quick. By the time we got to Zone 3, 14 teams were already eliminated. This is kind of feeling more like the World Series of Warzone lobbies of the past, where right off drop, we just see a ton of action. Players are trying to get these eliminations and get these kills to their name. But then when we transfer into that mid-game, it's slowing down. It's like these players are walking through molasses or something, because this just goes to a crawl, and finally towards that end game, we even saw it there with DBZ. Teams are just fighting at tooth and nail, trying to wipe out the rest of the lobby. So it's getting a little weird. The pacing's kind of coming together.
That's
Hopefully
right.
these teams can read it.
You know, I think teams are understanding we can't play too different. We have to go with what works. What got us to this point? If we play too timid, if we change things up way too much, we're not going to find success. And we saw that in game 4. Let's talk about Jukies, because Jukies was, you know, a fan favorite. I'm a big fan of Jukies myself, but he hasn't found success today. Why is that, Enigma?
Well, one of the things is about the way this team works, and I spoke about at the start about how they have this unique comms set up and the unique strategy in which they play. And the way in which they are as a 3 is essentially Jukies is more of an aggressive individual, Vision more of a passive individual, not in a disrespectful way, but assessing the situation. And what they do is they both plead their case to Lennon, who essentially plays pair and IGL and decides on the strategy in which they all trust. Every time we seem to tune in with the 3 of them, Lennon seems to be either down or far away, and I think right now that's really offsetting the rhythm of this Team Jukies lineup.
Dream, we got in-game here. Walk me through it, because it was exciting.
This was so crazy, because first of all, Sage beat FIFA in the Gulag to even make it to this point. But all of those redeploys, that was dropped. If you saw, Aiden went down, and there was like 3 that popped out. And I was like, okay, maybe Adrian will get to pick off one. But no, of course, Dark, Amir, and DS, like, Castillo, like, they all were alive, right? Strength in numbers, but to be able to even stay alive that long from Team Biffle was insane, because as Goj mentioned, it did put them in the 1.8 multiplier. But DBZ having that zone, having the high ground, everyone being alive, impressive stuff from them, because even in scrims, just even last week, like, that's kind of like their zone, their strategy, right? Like, the black sites are important because you can get so much economy from them.
I think one of the incredible things actually is watching how they've evolved through the afternoon. They got off to a really slow start at the start of map 1, right? They got bullied away from their place of interest, their airport landing by Team Gromalog, and they've ended up over the last couple of maps fighting for that back and setting themselves the correct foundation for starting maps, then gaining the black site, as you correctly said, and then putting themselves in the best position for a map win.
Well, there it is. We got a couple bananas out there in the audience. Hey, you guys are going nuts. I like it. We're going to take a quick break, but 4 games down, 2 more to go until we figure out who our global final winner is going to be. Until then, we'll be right back.
Free games and in-game content with Prime Gaming. Visit gaming.amazon.com and link your accounts. Herman Miller Gaming is the official chair partner of the World Series of Warzone. HyperX is the official peripheral partner of Call of Duty.
Attention all Warzone warriors. Gear up for the ultimate Battle Royale experience. The Call of Duty Endowment Bowl, presented by USAA, is back.
Y'all ready to get the stage set?
Get hyped for an elite level of competition. 10 military esports teams representing 3 nations.
Oh, Canada.
Competing for a single trophy.
You love to see it.
It's an all-land showdown. Tune in on October 5th as we drop into Al Mazrah. Squads will clash. Strats will develop. A champ will be crowned. See you in the drop zone. Stay frosty, troops, and level up the life of vets.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Series of Warzone Global Finals presented by Prime Gaming. We are 4 games down, and we are about to hop into Game 5 quickly. So we got to pull up our standings in just a quick second and lay down the law. See where Destroy is landing after that wonderful victory. Well, Biffle still in first place with a tremendous lead as far as I'm concerned, 50 points. I don't do math in public, but I just did, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's about 50. Dandra, who else do we got?
I mean, look at that. Soka back up in second, right? They are here. They have the 95.41 points, and Duzamir not too far behind them. But I just got to call this out a little bit. I mean, they have such a significant gap in first place to the other teams. So some of these squads that we see on our, kind of screen right here, specifically Team C-Laner, number in 13th, 49.2.
That's it. Well, there's your top 20, and it looks like map 5 is ready to go. So without further ado, go Spider Tip, take it away.
The top 15 after going through that map 4 victory, but it is time. We are in map number 5, and I was perusing the timeline, Goj, and one name stood out to me the most. It was Juki's. He said the first 3 maps were absolutely not going their way. Time to step it up in the second half, but now it is time. Do or die, 2 maps remain.
Do or die indeed, and it's really do or die for anyone else in this tournament besides Team Biffle. They have a 50-point lead over second place. That is absolutely ridiculous going into the 5th map. And I gotta give a shout out to Team Braxton, by the way. Empathy was able to stay alive as well into the top 5 last map, hanging out on top of that arch. Sage grabbed the kill, however got 5th place, and now they are 5th place overall. So very well done from that team as well. Let's see, can EU grab a win today in the World Series of Warzone? It's kind of now or never. 2 maps left to go here, Tiff, and I'm excited for it.
That is true. Map 1 went to Soka from NA, Sage, Biffle, NA in map 2, Team Braxton map number 3, and DBZ with map number 4. As we check out that zone, our teams making their way in. It's relatively central, but this could pull towards maybe Al Shireen Pass, so I'll look to the teams over there to maybe solidify that high ground, but we're not going to check in with DBZ just yet because no real massive there, but Wars & Co. Intex getting into early action, able to grab a knock on to 1, but looting through the tents, looking for that, but it's TDE who are able to grab an early game helicopter, one of the rarest vehicles on Al Mazrah, and just peppering down from above.
Peppering down from above with the starter pistol. I love it. TBE just letting people know they're coming through. Maybe grab a couple pieces of damage just to pad the stat sheet. We'll see. FIFA Kill, though, already in an early encounter. They know they got to get a move on. They got to play aggressive and quickly taking down one of our Brazil teams.
Yeah, going for the stronghold here is an easy way to maybe get a load of cash or maybe an early loadout, and FIFA looks to be doing that, but has that in hand. And the Vel, not a bad SMG, and here you go, getting that loadout early, and with at least 2 minutes into the 5th map, that's going to give them that advantage to any team that they run up against that wasn't able to get it. So you can see that team that was challenging the stronghold is forced to resend.
This is the best part of the tournament because this is where most of the teams down near the bottom of the leaderboard have to make some major adjustment and go for broke. They're going to be playing highly aggressive. You're not going to see as many teams in the in circle. Teams are going to be flying at people. So a team like FIFA Kill that can get a loadout that quickly are going to push the fight. Like I said, quickly finding Reaper to find the full team wipe on the team from Brazil.
Bro, Reaper hypes in the vehicle. He's like, I'm trying to get out of here, but Ab was able to cut them down. But it's Shifty, Biffle, and Sage that are taking on Louis CM, and you heard it from our Royal Air Force. They were talking earlier on the stage with Frankie. Stop landing near Biffle, and what are they doing? Map number 5, they are sharing a corridor with them, and Sage is just looking for an opening.
Yeah, the saying is if it's not broke, don't fix it, but if it's broke, do something about it. Let's make a change. This time, though, Sage is going to try to grab a different angle as Shifty is still in the building nearby. Maybe there's some secret strategy that our Royal Air Force wasn't sharing. Louis CM gonna push the fight. Smixy now pushing the fight as well, finding an elimination on King Maddie. Rodrigo, Zungod down below. Now with the player disadvantage, they're gonna try to grab some inside cover and reassess. Zungod in trouble. Attract pushing the fight. Attract, no! Doesn't get the better of it. Zungod goes huge. A nice answer back, of course, from flanked. Rodrigo grabs another angle, grabs a sniper, breaks plates. No, can't grab the knock.
Just a sniper from the ground, but Sage able to not capitalize on that because Louis CM's teammate Vapular was able to take him down, send him to that gulag early on, as well as Jay from Team Huskers will meet him there. But here's Louis CM able to reunite alongside his squad, operate this building, but that's exactly what you need to do. So they have forced the issue. They are winning engagements, and hey, that's enough for me. It's enough for the Royal Air Force.
Hey, look, Tiff, Vap said, I asked him a couple questions before the broadcast. Vap said he's not here to make any friends. He's here for business and business only. So time to take care of business, my friend. Let's see what Biffle can do and see if he can take care of business here in the gulag. Biffle, 1v1s is where he thrives. Attract on the other side has a ton of experience and a ton of prowess. Doesn't have a sniper though, so I think I'm leaning Biffle, but anything can happen in the gulag.
Well, you remember what Smixy said, you gotta win the initial gunfights, and her teammate Attract is gonna need to win a 1 here. Burning the thermite early, Biffle now doesn't have any more lethals or utility. Does spot Attract, puts out some initial bullets, and is forced to do a dance. You don't want to repeat, but he is going to pick up the gas grenade. It's going out, the snapshot connects, and Attract pushes. Will it be enough
Biffle doesn't lose 1v1s often. He's not gonna lose it on main stage when they're up by 50. If there's anything I know about Sage, Biffle, and Shifty, they're going to be pushing the equation. They're gonna stay aggressive regardless of what the score line is. Another team that's gonna do a lot of the same, well, it's the team on the screen. Hisoka, Skullface, Mayapo, still in second place, but the team from Mexico is hot on their heels, less than 4 points behind them. Deus Amir, Castillo, Z Dark, constantly finding themselves in the final circles and constantly finding themselves with a couple of eliminations early. And here's a couple more to boot. Colors no idea where Castillo is, and Dark from down below. A huge pinch. Super Evan has cut it off short, though. What can Castillo do? Last alive for his team.
Hey, need to stand up. Z-Dark and Deuce already in that gulag. You can hear them calling in the missiles and trying to disengage, but not quick enough. Goes down to maybe about 15 HP, able to start the process of plating back up. But sometimes when you get onto the balconies, they're really tough to get out of. You can find yourself stuck, but he's looking for a jump to the roof, going to miss it as Super Evan and Swag are closing the distance, outnumbering Castillo, just looking to put some initial damage, but they are in full run. Castillo through the, utilizing the Semtex to try and block off the staircase, maybe re-finesse them, but he only has one way to go here. He's gonna wait and try to go for the knock. Put some initial damage out, but it's not going to be enough. There's just too many. Super Evan and Swag outnumbering Castillo. To the gulag you go.
I'm not going to lie. If he would have won that with the no-scope signal, I would have lost my mind.
That would have been crazy.
Done. Should head to the gulag, should come back. We'll see. Braxton, Finesse inside the top 5, looking to continue to better their performance. A lot of money on the line, and every single time you move up this leaderboard, every single dollar you start counting into your bank account. But the question is, can you count it early? Maybe for Biffle you can, but for Team Braxton, still a long way to go. 5th place is gonna net them $36,000. 4th place, Tiff, would be $50K.
That's worth it here at Marshlands. You're surrounded by Team Zeppa, as well as a few others. So taking to the high ground will be very important. They do have a flare alongside them to boot. You can see Teeny just kind of laying low, knows there are players nearby, and that's really kind of what you need to do is make sure you're not overextending, not peeking, because of Signal 50 on a roof, you're 2 bullets away from finding yourself towards endgame. So Teeny likely is gonna rotate out, try to join up with Levy. Let's check in. Biffle and Shifty, your current leaders by north of 50 points. Just a staggering pace that our squads are having trouble matching.
Yeah, I was taking a look at the leaderboard, and the only EU teams inside the top 10, 10th place would be Stuo. You've got Boogs and Stukex in 4th. And you've got Team Wars in 8th. So 3 teams from EU trying to better their performances here. Several outside of the top 10. 1 Mexico team, the rest are in a quiet team inside the top 10, by the way. Team Jowo, after a fairly strong start at the beginning, still finding themselves in 9th place. We'll see what these teams are able to do in the final 2 maps. We've got Freed. You got 8th. Clown is down. Should be a 2v2 on the other side. Maybe a 2v1. Yeah, see you later. 8th gets the better.
26, fully wiped. May still have a gulag available. We are 2 squads out of our initial 50 here in map number 4. 8 minutes into the game, and the rotations are few and plenty here. But you can see Panda on the distance. Go Clamp an extra J. Trying to find some initial engagements here, but a relatively slower start for them. About 150 damage and no eliminations. Well, 1 for Clamp.
And I gotta say, a team that there was a lot of expectations on. Anytime I ask players about teams they were threatened by, especially from other regions, anytime we were talking about Mexico, they were actually talking about the 2nd place team from Mexico, which would be the team on your screen. You've got Panda, Extra J, and Clamp. They have a large, history of experience in not only the World Series of Warzone, but also in tournaments in the past. Go Clamp even playing with one of the teams at the top, right? Before changing out teammates. So an interesting team to watch out for. I don't think they're having the best shake of it thus far, but they might be getting the better of their opponents here. Clamp now on 2, looking to find Smixy. Little to no help though. Smixy finds another Panda, last alive for his team. Is able to knock 1, find a moment of reprieve, but all of a sudden, he's gonna try to clean it up, self-revive. Yes, spots him through the smoke.
Smixy even used to compete alongside Goat Clamp throughout her competitive history here in Warzone, and it's just like they're losing that initial gunfight and can't keep that momentum moving forward. Smixy jumps straight towards Panda, and unfortunately that squad will be wiped. We saw Attract early on lose that gulag, but was able to get back in, but unfortunately running into Goat Clamp and co, just not able to stay the distance. But Sage, Biffle bringing back Shifty in, and they're over here once again against Louis CM.
They've been fighting since the very beginning of this map. And So far, it's been fairly even trades across the board. They're going to continue to fight. Now, one thing that Louis CM's team has done is really stifled the aggressive early start that Sage, Biffle, and Shifty have been able to do the last 4 maps even, finding their way into the final 5 and a ton of eliminations. Right now, they're struggling to find even one. Now, if they can wipe Louis here, they pretty much have the entirety of this POI by themselves, at least this side of the river. So a huge moment and a huge fight, and I think they know that, which is why they're sticking here. But it's really weird to see Shifty on 0 kills and Biffle only on 1. But they're playing smart. They don't necessarily need all of the points, and they'll pick up the pace should they be able to wipe Jama here.
Well, I mean, if you're going to stay in Hydroelectric and fight for the dawn of time and completely sandwich the captain, Team Jama, so unfortunate for them, but I do see Louis CM out in the distance, but Sage parachuting in directly behind him, looking to capitalize on it, but he does get knocked and eliminated. Was the last team ever able to get out?
It's the definition of gross. Great elimination there from Sage. They've grabbed Hydro. They've got an entirety of about half of an entire POI to their name. They can hang out for a little bit waiting on this next zone. Now we got a couple swimmers here. We got a Wiz in the water with 4. We said FIFA Kills teams got to go fast and they got to go crazy at the beginning of this map to have a chance. Hopefully they can set up for in-game. Just 9 kills between 2 is a fantastic start. So we'll see what they can do at the end. Of course, multiplayer, again, doesn't start till top 35. We still have 46 teams left in the lobby. TBE trying to get the better of their opponents here with methods.
We saw them early on with the helicopter, now have made their way down south towards airport. And with that circle starting to close, they will likely have to rotate out. And we know a lot of heavy-hitting teams typically rotate through this out. But it's going to be Jukies and co that are going to be leaving that H5 area on the map and pushing towards the double gas station POI ahead of them. But Soka, they know the pace that they need to get to, and they're looking to hit triple digits, but they're not there yet.
Not there yet. Mayapo still looking for his first, but the team playing well. Inside the next zone, just barely. A couple teams trying to rotate in. That's E-Bates with Z-Smith on the outside, having to cross over these train tracks. But Ahsoka remains on the hunt, seeking Gromalok and seeking more eliminations, while Mayapo is looking for Picnic. Easily finds Team Ultra out of here. Really had a tough shake of it this game, and in this series haven't really had anything going, likely because of some of these early fights. Ahsoka continues to push the equation and continues to win. That's Ahsoka's 6th tip.
That they knew what they needed to do if they wanted to track down Team Biffle, and they're looking to capitalize on it. But we've seen just how well Shifty, Sage, and Biffle were performing, and they're on the move again, just on the outskirts, coming out of Hydroelectric. So they'll be pushing towards the marshlands, which, if we checked in earlier, there were the plethora of teams over there, but just needing to find that pace, because if Soka is able to rack in kill after kill after kill, that is going to really allow them to close the distance. But I think it's going to take a 2x multiplier for Team Soka to really do some damage.
TBE still looking to creep up this leaderboard and quickly eliminates Method's team. Cam's out as well. Looks like their 3rd flying back in is going to say, yeah, I think I'm going to stay away from this one. Nice win here from TBE. They continue to move up this leaderboard. They were in 5th going into the last map. They're now in 6th, but kind of maintaining their position into the top 10. An impressive feat considering their first map, but they've got the gun skill and they've got the aggressive game style and gameplay to win this thing still, but they need to get a move on. Let's take a look at that map, Tiff, and see where some of these teams are at.
Yeah, this is what's really interesting, right? You've got TBE. They were able to clear out airport on that southernmost side, but what's to note is Team Smixy has made a full regain. All 3 members of Team Smixy are up and rotating straight into the TBE, so that's going to be really challenging for them. But what's going to be even more tough is that zone is likely to pull furthermore north towards Village, towards Double Gas, and that road that separates airport and Double Gas is atrocious to cross, especially late game, because there's so many high buildings. We know it's the Signal 50 meta, and that's where things will get tough. Mayapo showing us just how it's done.
Yeah, great hold here from the top. Gotta have that high ground. Okay, if you're taking a look at that Call of Duty Echo Twitch channel, you just saw the new zone, and well, it went to pass in Village. You're gonna be creeping up on kind of the north side of Village and just kind of encompassing all of Pass. It means everybody coming out of Marshlands has a long way to go, and there's gonna be a ton of teams holding it as well. Huge shout to the production team to have that going. Go check that out on Call of Duty Echo on Twitch. Mayapo looking to follow up. Hits one, but not the second, allowing Hees to get out.
Rapid succession there, and as you made the shout to go to pass, there were some teams that had already rotated in early. That was going to be Jowo, Limax, and Bredman taking pass early, and Sage and Co. trying to get there. We know just the verticality that is over at pass. It's entirely difficult to rotate in. Shifty electing to go up by foot because the zip lines at this point in time are likely not going to be safe. Running into some resistance, forced to reassess the situation. You can see Bredman with ultimate high ground. You know the signal 50s in hand, and you know, I hate to say it, when I saw the initial circle zone, I did say pass, did I not?
You did. You definitely
It's almost
called
like
it.
I play this game or something. It's almost like I do.
Oh, look, Hisoka plays this game often. He's fighting against Finescent here. Finescent has a ton of prowess. These are two teams inside the top 5. Who do you got? Finescent really thought he was going to come down lane. Hisoka not only cracks plates, but gets quite a bit of health off Finescent. This should be a free and clear victory. No! Somehow gives up position. Hisoka thought he was so free that Finescent wouldn't chow that quickly. Finescent peekaboo takes down Hisoka. Now, it's not all she wrote for that team, but still, I mean, I was walking away from the screen.
Well, you
looking down at notes. I didn't think that was going to happen.
You think back to when Mayapo was on stage after their first initial victory and how many times he faces Soka in the 1v1s and says Soka wins them. Well, Finescent does on land. Finescent wins those ones, and Village is chaos. DJ Moss from Team eBay still alive. Skullface just a little bit south of them, but it's Biffle who was utilizing the flares earlier, hitting the smoke and rotate.
Stukex, this is a big one. Mayapo versus Stukex. Stukex, some of the lone soldiers for the EU go down. Mayapo wins his ones. Called it out on main stage. Executes it this time.
Hisoka's back already as well. Shifty, Biffle, Sage just in the opening of the road, trying to think about where they want to pull straight to. As you can see, the circle is pulling further and further into Al Shireen Pass. Last time we checked in, it was Bredman with the ultimate high ground that is going to make it so incredibly challenging to get anywhere close to them. Jowo grabs another, Bredman grabs another. They're likely running 2 Signal 50s on that roster.
Yeah, we've seen Jowo play this style before where he kind of plays anchor, and when you give Bredman an ultimate high as well, they should be getting free picks all day today, especially in Al Shireen Pass. They've crept inside the top 10, they've maintained their position in the top 10, now they've got a chance to further their position up into the top 5. Biffle turns on the team from Australia and makes it look easy. High ground eliminations in tow, and a great position here as Gromalok goes big in the kill feed. I'm hearing the crowd go wild.
Levi was able to get a flare off, so one member of Team Zeppa will come back at random, but Sage and Biffle, they're not going to let them get in that easy. Levi does fall, and they've set their sights onto more gatekeeping of this, as Nico Infinite is going to be that next squad with Crowder and Desmond. It looks like Nico might be the last alive, but Mayapo, they've set their eyes on the TBE. Noobs drops Mayapo. Soka, the biggest resistance they've faced in this map, looking for double digits, finally hitting triple for the total scoring, but Tommy plating up, and Noobs able to get back on his feet. Can he finish that self-res?
Could be a potential third party from distance too by Limax, throwing down covering fire. The old guard versus the new guard. Hisoka in trouble. Skullface on 1 HP in a dream. Goes down. Mayapo last alive for his team. Can he get the revive? If I'm TBE, I'd be pushing. The problem is you got 2-3 teams staring down your back, and Ullman getting shots down from Rocket, it looks like, on the other side.
They cannot afford to push Soka and Mayapo, and Team Aizen coming in from rotation. Mayapo with the flare. Meanwhile, Joe, Bredman, and Limax take out Team E-Bates from high ground. Playing that position early is what they needed, and Heeds tries to flank onto Mayapo. Initial shots go out. He's able to grab the knock, but Hisoka has to play from inside the building. Now all 3 back into the game, but they cannot take out this squad just yet, but Soka does! Soka is able to grab it, but not before Gromalok able to take down 2 members of Team Soka.
Grom did everything in his power to win that, but Gromalok's squad has been wiped. No gulag for you, and just a little bit of the multiplier. Somehow Team Hisoka is still alive, and look who also is still alive in several eliminations now. They picked up the pace, Tiff, and they are not letting any team close the gap on them. Sage on 5, trying to take down Rodrigo.
He's like, knock, knock, here's a Semtex, I've got a flare. Able to find even more eliminations. We were worried about the pace that they were maintaining here in map number 5, but sitting on 5 eliminations thus far will keep that momentum moving forward. But as we get a beautiful free cam shot, I did see a Juki's in the distance. He said he wanted to step up on this back half of the series, and so far is doing so.
Still alive. The question is, how many are alive on the team? Lennon went down in the kill feed. They might have flared him back. Mayapo's gonna creep up. Now, Breadman, Joe, and Limax are having a game. They've been inside a zone for a while. You heard it from DBZ, who got the black site, potentially something that Joe's team did to maintain this position in the zone. They've covered it correctly. They have exactly all the information they need and the high ground position to do wonders from distance. As long as there's no PA that drops Breadman off of that high ground, should be able to pick up a couple free kills, especially as we get into the final couple circles here. Mayapo still up, last alive for his team. And look who's also still alive. Z-Dark and Castillo continue to find themselves in the final circle, and there is Juki's finally.
Look, here's the issue. It's Mayapo last alive for their squad in second place, and yes, he's trying to rack up eliminations, but when you have Sage and Shifty clearing out the northern side of Pass, rotating in, they're able to maintain a pace that Mayapo's not going to be able to get. He needs some rogue flares to be able to get that teammate back, but prioritizing your life, your safety, the multiplier that is at hand is what you need to do. And Biffle, well, he's just taken down another one.
Somehow all three alive still. Jobo has fallen off on the other side. I know Bread was in a bit of trouble as well, but the team at the top continues to reign supreme. We've lost Shifty, Sage, Biffle, last alive as Vapular on the other side is finding one. Can we answer back?
That is the question. Can we answer back? They were able to get all three of them back alive, down to the 11 squads, about to be in a 1.6x multiplier, but it's Juki's. Juki's taking out Jowo. Juki's taking out Almond from TBE, finding a lot of success here, prioritizing that positioning, and they will have an advantage on that zone pull, but not before squad number 12, Team Iceland, is going to prioritize.
Jowo gone. Mexico gone. Raul gone. Mayapo finds another, somehow slipping away into 6th place, just barely missing out on the 1.8 times multiplier. Sage last up for his team, but Shifty bleeding out. Sage goes down, Shifty's out of here. Team Biffle makes it to top 5 again, but is down and out. Look who's left alive. Juki's and Vision, they needed it. They called it out, and they're executing it. The question is, can they win it? High ground to King Maddie. Finds a couple plates, but not a knock, and it's go ahead and burn the flare. Here's the footsteps of Juki's and Vision, but where are they gonna pop up from? Finds one, Vision now in trouble. King Maddie goes big, wins the one. Where's the second?
Teammate was flared in, likely gonna join them soon, gets eyes on Juki's, but not able to grab that knock. And with 4 squads remaining, Juki's is able to get the res onto Visions, who duck into cover, but Team Rocket has the advantage with 3 players still up.
Nice flank from Juki's. The crowd goes wild. Vision is on 11 tiff, going absolutely massive. This could not only get them into the money, potentially top 15, but they need to win it. They need to capitalize on these eliminations with a 2 times multiplier. Sun God last alive. No. Rocket last alive with Zakar. It's a 2v2 tipped.
Here comes Juki's. Here comes Juki's. He does get cracked, and Rocket not able to land a sight on him, but it's the flare with Zakar down. He grabs back Morpheus, but Juki's back again with another elimination. If they play this right, they should be the winners of map number 5, and they are. EU stand on Copper Box Arena. Juki's on top.
They needed it. They manifested it, and they won it. Map 5 goes to the team only a couple hours away. Juki's, a massive victory. 2 times multiplier for what likely will be well into the 30s, if not a 40-point game. You can see the excitement on their face and the excitement from the crowd.
Peep him there, Lennon right there. Every time they celebrate, Lennon is shouting out his family, and Juki's was like, hey, you know, he's got that dad buff, but let's take a look at that HyperX victory moment here. Juki's able to find one, immediately flanked, but they didn't make it easy with the utilization of flares, but Vision anchoring from above, sitting on double digits.
Yeah, call it COD timing. Call it God timing. Juki's went huge here to take out, I believe it was Rocket after grabbing the flare. This was such a massive moment. Of course, EU on EU violence, certainly not one that the fans here in the Copper Box love to see. but a flawless executed victory. Here's Rocket, able to get the flare off and goes for a reload at a bad time. Jukies finds the elimination, and then it was finally a 2v1, and if I'm Team Rocket, I believe they just splatted. They knew they couldn't win it, weren't gonna give away the kill. Very well done from Jukies and co. This is our first EU winner here in the Copper Box, and it was well earned and well timed. Finally grabbing one for the fans at home. Congratulations again to Team Jukies.
Vision, Lennon, and Jukies. It's crazy, right? Maybe I gave them a buff by reading out their tweet early on. I was like, hey, Jukies himself said it. The first 3 maps were not what we wanted it to be, and there goes the walkout. Going down to meet up with Frankie, who's standing by to interview our first EU winners on land today.
Yeah, super excited to hear from them. I know the crowd is. Let's send it over to Frankie on stage with our map 5 victors.
All right then. All right. First of all, Jukies, what took you so long?
I don't know. It was about fucking time, though.
Well, I don't want to repeat the language, but I have to say I have to agree with you, Jukies. That final fight, you had to dig your teammates out of hot water there. How did you get the timing so right?
Honestly, I don't even know. There was so much going on. People just kept dropping money. We were getting each other's trades. People were resin, we were farming them. Hopefully we do it again in the last map.
Yeah, I hope so too. Not that I'm showing any EU bias, obviously. No one booed me from North America. I just want to see you boys succeed because I know you work so hard. Jukies, there was a bit of controversy because you've got some ex-teammates playing in the booth behind us, but you decided to forgo that experience and pick up some young boys. Why was that?
2 shooters, Andy.
Whoa, Mary William.
2 proper shooters.
Are you saying you're getting old and slow?
I'm actually getting old, actually. I'm very slow, to be fair. I am slow.
Basically.
Well, you're obviously a good...
My brain's there, though. My brain's there.
It's still under there, ladies and gentlemen. I've just had a check. All right, High Vision, what was it like when Jukies picked you up for his team?
I mean, he's the first one to actually give me a chance in actually a good team. So, I mean, I really, how to say that? Yeah, I mean, this is the best guy in the world, bro.
He's one of the best for sure. Lennon, let's have a chat to you. There's a good reason why London loves this man. Lennon, for you, what's this LAN experience been like? Talk me through how you've kept your nerves in check.
The crowd's amazing. I'd attack. It's amazing. I don't know, I've just kind of just chilled out a little bit, stayed calm and kept the team calm and stuff like that, but we really needed that game, so.
All right, come in here. Stick together, lads, stick together. Because you have to stick together now. The odds are against you as we go into this final map, and no pressure, but Europe's counting on you. How do you think you're going to approach this final drop?
We're just going to go out there, try to do our best, to be honest. We've had a bit of a stinker, so.
Well, you got a victory. A win is a win. 60 points. It's fine. They've got this. They've absolutely got this. London, please give it up for Team Jukies!
Almost
Well done indeed from Jukies. Feels nice. Again, I'm a big fan of him, and the fact that he gets a victory, 60 points. I mean, come on, that's a lot. And a lot is needed to catch up to Diaz Biffle, who is in first place, right at 150 or so. At least the last time I had a chance to watch them on that the leaderboard top right in game. But great game, nonetheless. EU on EU. Enigma, you hate to see it, but it happened. But the crowd, they loved it.
Yeah, I mean, as Jukies comes out and says there, it was about time. However, they do indeed deliver that massive map for us in 5, and it all comes from the rotation. Jukies might have been so locked in that he wasn't sure, but he gets to the top of pass so early, and as teams are coming up from the bottom of village, it's a disgusting rotation that you have to try and make it through this layered, stacked, tiered area, and Jukies and Vision are just raining hellfire on any team that tries to get past them, gatekeeping, picking up the big kills, and then go massive at the end to seal the deal.
Seal the deal. Indeed they did, but Dandra, going to you, Diaz Biffle was in first, as we talked about. I think they still are potentially, even though they don't get the victory this game, they were doing a tremendous job staying alive, and honestly their positioning, even sometimes out in the open, they were still picking up elims where teams probably wouldn't.
Dog, I don't know how they were able to hold this side of the mountain for so long. I'm just like, what? They're holding all of these teams pushing on in. They're just looking down. They're picking up all these free kills, but they have like 2/3 of the circle circle at their back, and nobody is looking down and shooting at them. But what was more impressive to me was their ability to get away from this positioning you see on your screen right now and be able to kind of make their way up the hill and be able to come out and find just even more eliminations on their way up. I was saying it's going to be a little bit hairy for some of these other squads because even if they're not getting a lot of eliminations, they are still making it deep in the placements.
He said making their way up the hill, perfect transition into Hisoka and their team staying alive as long as they did, Dream.
Yeah, which was crazy, right? Because essentially in Akhtar Village, where Aiden's team was, where Hisoka's team was, they were, like, as mentioned, they had to rotate to pass. Yeah. So that elevation going from Village to pass, like Mayapo, how long he was able to stay alive was so impressive because he was able to push that to a 6th place. Yes, he did not get the multiplier, the 1.8, but from where they were at in the recovery, even from seeing that Hisoka gulag, they were like, dude, who put down their controller, bro? Because that was insane.
I mean, listen, I think this is actually really reminiscent of TBE, to be honest with you. That's how they've been able to secure a lot of tournaments in the past, right? It's just they just rack up a lot of kills. And sure, maybe they're not winning, maybe they're not getting up to that high, kind of placement, but they just get there with a lot of eliminations. They take advantage of that multiple.
Absolutely, and Rocky getting 2nd place. Let's give them their flowers because that's the first time we've seen them truly make it up the leaderboard, Enigma.
Yeah, it is, and seeing them get involved in this later stage is great. We've spoken about how they have a massive fan base here in the crowd. We've seen the squad out there. And to be honest, yeah, it hasn't been the best afternoon for us in Europe. So to see first and second place for us is indeed going to be a great thing. Hopefully we see that again in map 6.
Might I just say though, the fact that they were able to knock Juki's down right there and he had that self-rest, like that was the saving grace because that could have been a completely different winner.
Completely different. 27 eliminations for Juki's and his crew. That is a massive game. But the reality is that was game 5. One more game to go. So it's all or nothing for several of these regions and teams out there. This is a big moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're still tallying the standings, but when we come back, we're going to have those standings to lay down the law. Who's going to be in first? Who's trying to lock it down? We'll find out when we come back for our final map, Game 6.
This will be the last map.
Miller Gaming is the official chair partner of the World Series of Warzone. Follow along on social media for all your Call of Duty esports needs. Get all the latest info in real time. Just follow at COD_esports Twitter and Instagram now. Be sure to link your Twitch or YouTube account with your Activision profile now. Don't miss any of the amazing viewership rewards during the global final, including the chance to win a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 beta code.
Yeah, come here. Can we down the music, Mama?
Yo, Hector, I've just been given the instruction that I need to use the phrase, it's time to slip it in.
It's
Hello! Welcome back to the World Series of Warzone. I've come up to the Hector stream, the Team Repulse party. I hope I haven't brought the tone down.
No, we're good. Trust me, we're good. You said this, what did you say, sniff it in or what? I don't know what that means.
How dare you?
I don't know what you said. I couldn't hear you.
I did not say you have to sniff it in. I don't even know what that means. Disgusting.
That's why I was like, what?
Honestly, I was told you were filth.
Frankie, talk to me. How are you feeling right now? The energy, I did not expect it to be this crazy. I'll be honest. This is nuts.
Continue to be rude. This time about London. What do you mean you didn't expect the energy to be crazy? Did you not see CDL in 2019 and 2020?
Yeah, let's go. She pressing me, chat. She pressing me. Yeah, no, honestly, this is insane. Going into halftime, the boys are up 30-something points.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is nuts. This is insane. I don't know. How you been?
I'm not happy. What the hell? What the hell?
We look, and I think the top EU team is sitting in 8th right now. And I don't know if there's any more.
Well, going into map number 3, StuKX were 4th. I don't know where they are now. Yeah, and they got really far. They're in that final 5.
Right now, I think.
Yeah, they're doing all right. But also, also, I hear there's a connection between you and Team Biffle, so I'm calling foul play here. You got it in with production, something's going on.
I mean, look, they keep telling me, like, when we threw the line, like, oh, y'all rigged it for Biffle. Y'all, you know, they always say I do something. I just sit here and slap my ass. Like,
I do that. Yeah, we saw your behind being spanked on the broadcast earlier. I've heard that you've got some moves, but they most involve your bottom.
Yeah, we get a little crazy here. I'm not gonna lie, you know. I would say I did not expect them to show me slapping my ass on these broadcasts. I'm a cute above 50. I did it.
Hey, they broadcast are wild over there. I see y'all getting the interviews too. The 50th place. Y'all are wild.
We were shocked when you interviewed TBE when they died. We're like, no way they actually did that.
The worst thing is, well, not the worst thing because it was technically my idea. There is a little bit of shade because the wooden spoon, you might need to Google it. It's not a nice thing to do to someone, but they said that I could give wooden spoons to the team that goes out first, so that's what I've been doing.
Is that what you handed him?
Yes, apparently, but apparently I wasn't meant to tell anyone that because now it's out there on the internet that I'm a shady so-and-so. So I've got to leave you, and we've got to head back into the broadcast. So I'll see you guys on the stage.
Frankie, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thank
you.
Oh, man, no. Yo, W, Chad, W, Frankie, W, Frankie.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the World Series of Warzone Global Finals presented by Prime Gaming. It comes down to this one final game to decide it all. Game number 6. Who's going to win? We're going to find out after this next game. Without further ado, we need to hop right into standings because Game 6 is about ready to go. And
I heard the ding, but I was in the other room.
Who's looking to take it all?
I mean, look at the difference, right? Of course, Team Biffle just set the tone early, man. They set the tone early. So what we really need to happen, like them to go down early, and somebody need to have like a 40-point game.
40-point game indeed. Dandro, what are we looking at?
We're looking at a lot of people who need to play the best game of their Warzone life here and now in London, right? Some of these teams that are below 10th right now, sure, there's an opportunity to make some cash here, right? Not everyone, it's not just the top team, right, that's walking home with some serious moolah. It's everyone else. So maybe don't get discouraged. That's my number one thing. Don't get discouraged heading into this lap map because you still have an opportunity to jump up.
Cash is great. Cash is great, but to be the first international champion, to be the first global champion for World Series of Warzone is truly what is the grand prize. And right now, Biffle, Sage, and Shifty are looking to take it all. Game number 6, we're about to decide our winner. So let's go to Goj and Spider Tiff.
Thank you so much, guys. Jukies from 46th to 9th place, breaking into that top 10, but it's one map here last for this series. The issue is who is going to be able to chow Team Biffle. At least 50 points ahead of the nearest competitor. It's almost as if the other 49 squads are going to be preying on their downfall, Goj.
They're all playing for second, Tiff. Let's be very clear. You're right. 45 points ahead of Hisoka. And Dandro called it out. They need this team to get full wipe with 0 points. And even still, the best game of the day was the one we just saw. That was 54 points. The only team that even has a chance to catch Team Biffle is Team Hisoka. But the rest of the squads are all right next to each other. Everybody jockeying inside from about 6th all the way down to about 15th. The spread is so razor thin, which is how you saw Jukies jump from 46th to 9th. Let's head in to the 6th and final map of the World Series of Warzone Global Finals. London, one more time, let's get real loud for the final drop of the trio section of this event.
Here we go. We get a good look at that initial zone encompassing a large majority of the water. And Jukies, your map 5 winners that took so long, as Frankie said. She hits them with the, what took you so long? She's like, yo, we've been warming up in a 54-point game at that. If they could double down and throw another one like that, putting them north of 100 points, think of the differential on the leaderboard, because you're right, from 46 to 9, that's nothing short of impressive.
Yeah, you need a massive one, certainly. Currently situated and I believe 4th place overall is TBE, who's just breached that 100-point margin. So there is a sizable drop-off after the 5th place, but everyone from then on out are all fighting for still a ton of cash. Again, $100,000 to the team in 1st, but still $80K for 2nd, $65K for 3rd, and so on and so forth. But if you want to make money today, you've got to make it inside the top 25. I'm looking at Aiden and Rated and Hate Adrian. They're currently in 11th place overall, just outside of the top 10, and that money drastically starts increasing after the top 10.
Well, it's going to be Aizen, but they're not going up against DBZ this time. It's actually going to be Team Swag that will be contesting them over here at Airport. And Aizen and Heeds, they were trying to bait colors into their building. They threw that proximity mine down on the ground, but it looks like Aizen and Heeds will be getting the stronghold for themselves. And Swag and Co, they're kind of rotating out, but Heeds looking to catch Z colors off guard.
Now, with Juki's kind of increasing his point total, we do now officially have 4 EU teams inside the top 10. Heeds and Gromalok, they've been playing a hyper-aggressive play style, but they're not one of those teams. They'd love to creep inside the top 10, love to continue to prove themselves. They've been contesting any team they can get their hands on. They're just not winning every single time. You need those early eliminations if you want to find yourself in the final couple circles. I got to give a shout out to Pat Zuka, Inxian, off-screen wiping DBZ. The crowd saw it and the crowd got loud. We'll check in with him in a little bit.
Tappa on the upper floor of the building ahead of Champy. Can Big Pavo close the distance? Definitely got to check behind because he knows that there's a member that was able to snake off into the water. Sometimes if you're running amok, you have to get into water to rotate, but Tappa not able to get there just yet. The jump comes around and Big Pavo able to take down Tappa, the last member of this team unable to rotate.
Yeah, these are those early fights you look back on and say, okay, we have 4, 5, 6 eliminations. We're kind of setting up for that next circle, setting up for the next zone. These are clutch, but they're not everything. You need more, especially if you're a team like this that's near the bottom of the leaderboard. You've got to go massive, and every single kill could net you quite literally hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Everything counts. Every single elimination counts. Joe, Breadman, Limax, a strong start and a mediocre finish. We'll see if they can finish well in the final map. As Smixy getting the better of Levi on the other side. Smixy going big to potentially take down the Australian team as Zeppa and Teeny close the gap.
And this is what they need to do. We were talking to Smixy earlier on. Frankie pulled her aside. Hey, what's going on? It's just like we just need to win that first initial engagement. If they're already picking off a couple members, getting that KP, that's exactly what is benefiting them. But Zeppa and Teeny waiting to see, hey, will Levi come back? Did he guess the Gulag win? No, so they will likely have to get enough cash to be able to buy them back. But then you jump on over to Observatory, the one team that has the best chance of catching Team Biffle. It's going to be on your screen. Team Soka, Skullface Mayapo, and Hisoka, the captain himself.
Yeah, the big question in my mind is this trio, do they go into this game and say, let's go absolutely crazy to try to take first place? They won't settle for second, of course, but do you kind of rest on your laurels a little bit and say, we want to stay alive, we want to maintain our position, because they do have a sizable gap from second to third. It's a 13-point margin, so if they just have a pretty solid game, they're likely going to lock up $80,000 to their name. Knowing this trio, though, they're not even looking at the leaderboard. They're just going to play their game. They're going to do what they do best. As off-screen, you're seeing Lennon, Juki's finding a couple eliminations. They're keeping up that pace they set in map 5.
Skull being patient, playing some head peeks here, but you've got the 2022 EU World Series of Warzone champions on the high ground going up against NA. So that's a heavy-hitting fight. We'll check back in with that later as we keep on board with your current leaders here on LAN in the global finals. It's Team Biffle.
Again, no one really contesting their point total. Same thing that I just said for Team Hisoka is the exact same mentality for this team. All they're worried about is getting some points on the board. They're not worried about the leaderboard, though. They're going to play their game. I can only expect you're going to see them in the final circle. You're also going to see them with a ton of eliminations, but only time will tell. Head back to Observatory to take a look at a potential fight here. Again, Savvy Ultras is here every single time, but a team that has to play aggressive because they're outside the top 10. Aiden, Rated, Adrian pushing up from behind. Savvy Ultras forcing the encounter.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Team Juki's just got wiped. All of them sent to the Gulag. So if we wanted them to go back-to-back, the odds are already stacked against them. But in the tunnels, it's Sage, and Sage goes down. Shifty not able to get by his teammate to grab a trade. Team Echo on your screen. Echo, Tomsterbaum, and Bubble. I mean, Echo and Tomsterbaum, they've been playing since the beginning of Verdansk, the competitive Warzone history. I was able to stop by, talk to them. They said, hey, we're running 2 Signal 50s. Echo's gonna be running that AR SMG. But honestly, your weapon doesn't matter here because it's the last game of the day and your job is to climb up that leaderboard tooth and nail. I fully expect this last map to be the most aggressive we've witnessed.
And that story of Echo is a story that many of these teams share. I'll pause that story to say, well, it's Sage in the Gulag, and again, you want to maintain that position. Sage looking for his opposition, throws a grenade here from Brilo. Doesn't connect, which gives a little bit of information to Brilo to know that Sage is on the left-hand side. Sage says, nope, you're not gonna know that. I'm gonna go to the right, procs, and guess what? Brilo thought he was on the left. A great move by Sage to outsmart his opponent. He's not gonna lose that one.
Not gonna lose the Gulag, maybe not gonna lose LAN here. Could you imagine? I know we have Pulse Check in the building upstairs sitting with J God and Lucky and Rampage, and they're just cheering on Biffle, their brother at arms. But Skullface here finds himself in the Gulag, but a heavy hitting one against Jowo.
This is a big one. Hisoka's team in second. Skullface a huge part of that. Jowo on the other side needs a massive momentum swing to continue to increase their prize pool. Likely gonna walk away with some cash. The question is how much? A couple shots against Skullface, only break one plate. Skullface misses. Oh, the timing. Jowo wins out that one. Jowo's gonna be heading back free and clear, but if I know anything about Mayapo and Skullface and Hisoka is that they're quickly gonna get Skullface back, and then that's exactly what just happened.
Hit the flare, hit the rotate, doing an intel contract to get that next circle information. But Jowo just absolutely finessed in the Gulag. And you know, some, lo and behold, do call him Flowo, maybe the king of movement here in Warzone.
Flowo, movement king, whatever you want to call him. Joe's the GOAT. Question is he gonna be the GOAT on land? Probably not first place, but hey, we still have the solo YOLO after this. Anybody's game for $100,000. We'll get to that in a moment though, because still a lot of cash to be had here. $500,000 up for grabs. This is the last map for it, and DBZ needs to go big. An okay map in the last one after their win. They're gonna clean up Meeks here and keep moving on their merry way. Decent position, decent advantage, but where do you go from here, Tiff?
You go up. You want the high ground. Rotate through Observatory, see where that next circle is gonna start pulling, and then prioritize your rotation, because that's what has been killing so many of our teams. And with so much water still in this main zone, a lot of teams have prioritized going to Said City, and that's not a bad move. That's not a bad shout, but the thing is, can we get there? Squads like FIFA Kill have already rotated in.
And I was taking a look at this map again. You can take a look at it yourself on the Call of Duty Echo Twitch channel. You can see where the map is as Almond finds one. Great timing for Almond to pick one up, creeping along the ground. Now they have player advantage. Now they hunt their prey. Noob's gonna creep up above. These players know every single angle to get in and out of these buildings. And Noobs flanks his opponent, pushes as a team. They're not taking any chances here, Tiff. 3v1 should be no problem at all.
Finding themselves inside the top 5, but they will not be happy with that. Tommy had a strong performance the last time he was in the Copper Box Arena, and performing here today would be exactly what they need, but they're just 4.4 points outside of the top 3. But Dusamir is the squad currently sitting in 3rd. They've got the high ground, and they are just above Team Huskers.
Yeah, I've got to give some flowers to that Mexico team. They're playing fantastic. Getting shot in the back though. Deus Amir now in trouble. A little bit of a caster curse, but Castillo's gonna make it right. Gonna try to play the high ground position, and I like this spot. Huskers, Mutex, Jesus, they've gotta know they have the high ground. Jesus, an incredible player. Traveled all over the world to compete in Warzone. Not only today, but in the past. Won a LAN for 10K in Amsterdam. Has an opportunity to hopefully increase his standings on the leaderboard and win some cash. But let's head to the Gulag here. Deus Amir, 3rd place currently, trying to take down 11th place Hate Adrian. This is a nice 1v1 for a massive moment.
Hitting overtime. No one on the flag. PDSW in hand is not a bad gun for the Gulag, but check the angle that Deuce is working on. He's gonna push the issue, and Adrian clutches that, exactly what they needed to do for Team 8. And I told you, I sat down, I talked with them early on. He's like, I don't know, I'm just here to shoot my gun, and hey, it's working.
The game of chicken in the Gulag is always a fun one. Who's gonna go with the flag first? Usually that person loses. Sometimes they both lose, Tiff. Gotta get on the flag pretty quick, make sure the time doesn't run out. Let's check in with our second place team. They seemingly are in a bit of trouble, have lost one. Dongi and Vonbot up above, don't seemingly are gonna, they're not gonna approach Mayapo here. Instead, they're gonna continue to maintain high ground position in that POI. That's where they land usually. Wonder how many kills they have. Let's head over to the leaders though. Sage, Biffle, Shifty doing, well, Team Biffle things, Tiff. Continuing to find eliminations and continuing to win those gunfights.
Just hanging out on the outskirts of Hydroelectric was essentially their drop spot. They land in Hydro, they stay in Hydro, they reap in Hydro. And this is actually what is allowing them to farm so many eliminations. And because the zone keeps Hydro in zone, more teams are going to be rotating out of the northern side from Rohan Oil, and they're essentially just gatekeeping everything. And the next team is going to be too strong making their way through that, but not before CPA tries to hit a rotation with the Hummer. They do lose out on CPA, and we're flying off the mountainside of Observatory. Moriko just keeps going, hanging outside of the passenger seat, maybe trying to scout some of them.
Our Asia regional team, they played hyper aggressive in the regional qualifiers and dominated the competition, probably by driving Hummers and pushing every single gunfight and landing Observatory. The problem is when you do this, you are giving away your position to everyone. They're just trying to find some sort of space that they can hang on to and restabilize. I don't think anyone in this lobby is going to allow them to do that. I'm looking at our map though. Of course, Hydro's still inside the next zone. It's looking like it might pull towards Cave, which is good for Vonbot, Dongi, and Nofo, a team that's kind of an unknown squad that really made a name for themselves in the World Series of Warzone series. Got an opportunity to do something big here. The only team contesting them is Team 38.
Yeah, Soko back on your screen, your second place team. Still need about 50 points to cover the gap between Team Biffle. And it's just gonna be so tough because they've constantly been in that regain blender, not able to be up to full form, but it's Almond already on 7, has overtaken Dusamir and pushed themselves into the top 3.
If I know anything about TBE, they're not complacent when they're inside the top 5. They're gonna continue to push the equation. That's exactly what you're seeing. I think that's a total of 15 eliminations already from TBE. With 37 teams up, they've got an opportunity to do something crazy right now. Can they catch Team Biffle? Likely and mathematically, probably not. But can they creep up into 3rd? Can they creep up into 2nd? It's possible. They need Hisoka to go down, and they need to continue to farm kills, and they're doing exactly that. Swag doing everything in his power. It's just not enough. Noobs grabs another.
Yo, but they hit the do-si-do and hit the flare in the meantime. Will it have connected? Regardless, another elimination goes the way of TBE and Tommy. Now we know they always make that Bermuda Triangle style of play with Almond down in the Gulag. Tommy on the rooftop looking down at Laga and Diego, able to throw down some shots, not necessarily connecting. Maybe a little bit of a lethal, maybe will connect. But regardless, you want to wait on Almond and see if he's able to get out of the Gulag, but not before Noobs falls.
Yeah, Tim, I usually make a basketball reference here about their triangle formation. I was gonna try to lean into football, but I'm not gonna disappoint the London crowd. I'm gonna let it stand. Tommy looking for a couple of eliminations still. Lage holding his own, but should go down here shortly. The question is, Tim, if you're TBE, obviously you've got a couple in the Gulag here, a ton of eliminations. You want to play this hyper-aggressive playstyle. You got Smixy on the other side. Alma's going to try to win this. Where do you go from here? The rotation's going to be tough for Tommy, and you're going to have 2 flyers in the air. They're going to have to scope it out. We'll see if he can win it.
On the ground prone, able to clean up Smixy. You can see that he extended out onto Smixy's side of the Gulag, which is very similar of how we witnessed Soka playing early on, but still able to take that elimination, add it to the tally because they are just trying to pull away from that 4th place squad, Team Deuce, Amir, and Soka. Not able to catch a break here in map number 6, but if they go down here, it will open the door for teams to pass them.
The opportunity for TBE to make it to 2nd place completely depends on Hisoka and Mayapo staying alive in this moment. Going down with 0 eliminations is so uncharacteristic of Hisoka. I can't even believe that it could happen. We'll see. Shifty playing maybe playing with his food a little bit. I think they knocked Bino and then let himself revive and then killed him outright. Wanted to make sure they weren't going to get picked off by a third party. If we take a look at our zone here, of course, everybody's moved outside of the majority of the hydroelectric, creeping down towards caves. And Tiff, we might be seeing another water zone.
You would love that, wouldn't you, Coach? You would love a water zone. You're so devious, but regardless, it doesn't matter at this point, with Biffle still able to extend that lead that they're maintaining. And honestly, with the zone pulling just south of hydroelectric, they've got a position where they're able to gatekeep yet again, and that has just kept them maintaining this pace that no one can manifest. Even Soka running the gauntlet of potentially not able to even hold on to second place.
Off-screen TVE is in a bit of trouble, but they've taken down Finesse, and a couple teams at the top fighting each other, and the gulag is closed. Tiff, we are officially nearing the end game of the last map. Tommy and Almond hunting down Empathy.
Here we go.
Almond on 10, TVE is going huge. Doesn't matter what weapons in his hand. DBZ's in their way. Almond shooting bodies.
Do you blame them, though? They get a durable gas mask, they get their squad together, and they take out 2 members that were likely close to them on the leaderboard. Now we start to parachute away. Look for the high ground as we see squad 26 in the distance. Tactical Brit was who actually was firing down with a signal 50 from above, but look at, we've got the ultimate flank.
I think TBE's on 21 eliminations.
Could you imagine?
An opportunity to do something that many people would say is impossible. I don't know if they're gonna catch this squad, but this could be a window of opportunity. Sage is down, quick flare. Team Biffle knows what they're doing. All 3 alive, as always. Several teams, though, surrounding them. A tough spot in the zone. Sure, it's central, but not ideal. A little bit of cover to work with, and somehow Team Hisoka fully stabilized all 3 up.
They did have the cash. They just needed a buy station or a flare to get their numbers back up. But I'm keeping my eyes on Biffle and Shifty on the right-hand side of your screen, playing just by the bridge. TBE just to the northern ahead of them in a big engagement as Tommy goes down. Tommy is fooled by 8th. Now, Noobs and Almond will have to clutch up this moment and get out of this congested area.
If anybody's wondering here in the stadium where Team Jukies is, they've been eliminated already. They're not here in the final couple circles. They might see themselves into the top 10, but it's gonna be close. The big question in my mind is who's going to win map 6 and cement themselves in history, some of the greatest Warzone players of all time.
Oh.
Great snipes.
Signal 50, maybe that will be the greatest ever in World Series of Warzone history. Not a particular player, but a particular weapon in the hands of Shifty.
They're keeping up the pace though, Tiff. They're not relenting. They've got to kind of move into this next circle. Look at the next zone. Half of it's in the river.
Jowo's already there. Tommy's back up, Almond's on the roof. PA liking to wreak havoc, but not necessarily. It does knock Almond on the roof. Tommy does not have a flare. 5 eliminations, typically anchoring for this squad.
If they want a chance to take down Team Hisoka, they have to stay alive. They need the 1.6 and the 1.8 times multiplier. Look at that scoreboard on the right-hand side. Team Biffle likely your winners, but second place is a complete toss-up. 2 teams at 129.4, 2 teams vying for second, but Deus Amir, our Mexico squad, is not too far behind. Sage goes big, no! Falls, and a quick answer back from Shifty. This team is moving on all cylinders. The team at the top is going to remain there at 182 points. Tiff, could they breach 200 points on land?
There is a possibility as we get into that multiplier, but not before Soka, able to find another one, but he's only on 2 eliminations with 13 squads remaining. We are getting into those upper multipliers, but is going to be difficult.
Tiff, this is unbelievable. 11 teams left. Many of our top squads still alive. Third place walks away with $65,000, but first place is $100,000. And second at $80K. We're likely witnessing not only history, but a fight for $15,000 for second and third place. Skullface in the water with the F-Tac Siege goes down. EU Ghost goes massive. An opening for TBE and others to creep in. Where are they? Where can they be found? Shifty still up. 7 eliminations, picking up Louis. No! Another knock from distance.
King AJ
is out of here.
Goodbye and a flare to boot. We're getting Sage back in if we can just get a moment. And there it goes. 4 squads remaining. And look who's got the high ground. It's not Anakin, it's Biffle.
Tiff, so much math behind the scenes. So much money exchanging hands. 3 teams fighting for the final victory. No, make it 4. 1 still in the water. Flanks fighting Sage. Sage goes down. F-Tac Siege reigns supreme when it comes to water, but we're moving back to land on the next zone. 3 teams left. Joe wipes the next one. Joe needs this to walk away with a ton of cash, but it's going to be difficult when you've got Shifty on high ground.
Yeah, but they're sitting on double-digit eliminations, vying for that 2x multiplier. And Team Smixy in the distance, flanked and attract. Some have called them the golden thirds, but here they're showing why they are so prevalent.
Whoa.
Wiping Joe. Now, Team Smixy versus Team Biffle, endgame map 6.
A ton of cash on the line. A ton of eliminations in pocket. Shifty grabs another knock. Looking to close this thing out in style, Tiff. 200 points potentially and looming. A 2v2 with high ground positioning, but not a lot of gas mask to boot. They do make it into position to hold ultimate high. This is unbelievable.
I just want to see him style on him. I know one's got the signal 50, but Shifty is down. Biffle, last standing here, keeping an eye out on flanked, not able to necessarily spot them, but as that circle starts to shift, Shifty back up on his feet. Biffle still the south press, and there he goes, the push onto flanked. Smixy squad is wiped, and Biffle stand up, your winners of map number 6 and a $100,000 World Series of Warzone Global Final Champions.
Team Biffle, go get your trophy.
$100,000.
You earned it in style, a massive victory, and a ton of points with a ton of cash.
That trophy's been staring at everyone all day, centered in the middle of all of our 150 players. But now it is going to be Biffle and Co. lifting it.
Tiff, this was unbelievable. An absolute domination from Team Biffle. There were so many people that watched them in the World Series.
There he is.
Stage 1, Stage 2, and they said they couldn't do it. They didn't have the Kim. They were all slayers. No one was willing to do the dirty work. Shifty
I'm curious.
has
They're
had
each gonna
this
come out with
mark on his
$33,000.
name, a chip on his
Do they have to
shoulder,
pay taxes
and he
on
has
that?
proved it on
It's in
land
London.
that he can do it here, he can do it anywhere. Team Biffle are your champions.
Here in the Copper Box Arena, history is made. Shifty, the newest member of the roster, alongside Biffle and Sage there. That trophy is hoisted. Congratulations, boys. You just won $100,000.
You hear the crowd. They've been cheering on EU all day, but they can see and recognize domination here on main stage. The smiles on their faces, the smiles in the crowd, and you know there's smiles in that pulse check.
Victory it has been for you guys. There was never any doubt from that second game onwards when you got your first victory, but to cap it all off with another is something else entirely. Biffle, given that you guys came second, in fact you with other teammates came second in the World Series of Warzone NA last year, what does it mean to prove yourself against international competition on LAN?
I mean, it's a great feeling. I know I've gotten third, second twice in the World Series, and now I finally got the first place. So I'm super fucking hyped.
London is hyped. You guys are hyped too. What does it mean to have this man as your team captain?
Man, this guy, you know, they took a chance on me. I wasn't an IGL. They told me that's what they needed, and I said, hey, if y'all trust me, I'll switch to it, and I'll do my best. They said, all right, and it's history.
And what does it take to be a natural IGL? Because you clearly are.
Confidence. I got so much confidence in these guys and in myself, and I just told them, man, like the gear's clicking. Once it starts clicking, no other team can keep up with us. And I mean, we showed that today. I told them, bro, we're ending this with that kill. We're not letting them die in the zone. We're gonna land on everybody.
And Sage, for you, you came outside of the top 10 last year in the World Series of Warzone. Why do you think that this team was just unstoppable?
I feel like this team just comes with a lot of confidence and trust. I mean, you have, by everybody in the world, the best gunny in the game, the best player in the game. 2 months into practice with Shifty, the best IGO in the game to steer us. I have my teammates back no matter what. I do whatever I need to do for my teammates to succeed. Right there, I know we had it through. I told my teammates, just keep getting me back. I'm gonna see if I can get any intel for anybody else. I trust in my teammates. That's all it takes. Like these boys, we only had a couple months together, but this is probably by far one of the best teams I've ever played with.
Shifty, say that into the microphone.
I said it's trust. That's all it was, man. Switching from different rosters from stage 1 to stage 2 with very little tournaments and very little practice. All it came down to is our trust.
And you found that trust when you needed it most. However, trust can be broken. And I wonder what you guys are going to be doing with each other in that booth, because we are heading into solo YOLO. Who do you think is going to be taking it?
I got Shifty taking it, honestly. I've been at my thoughts since yesterday. I think Shifty's a good person to take it. I hope he does, and that's it.
To be honest, out of the three of you, my money is on you. I saw you today. You are insane.
Oh, I'll kill him. I kill him.
Oh, cool. And I'll have a share of the prize money. All right, $100,000 is on the line after this break. But before then, gentlemen, you're each going to get one of these. London, give it up for your 2023 World Series of Warzone Global Final Champions! The World Series of Warzone Global Final is here, and so is the Solo YOLO pack. Drop into the game with the essentials, including the Red Mist XMR blueprint, the Solo YOLO Chimera blueprint, animated calling cards, emblems, and more. The pack is available using COD points. Visit the in-game store now.
Well, that's going to be it for me for this morning's stream. I will be on later today. Till then, hope everybody is relaxed. Continue watching the World Series. It's pretty good. It's going to be continuing all day, I believe. But until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.